And a very pleasant good Monday evening, softball fans. Welcome to the Harlan and Hazel Rogers Softball Complex in Fort Dodge as the Class 5A state tournament continues into the quarterfinal round. We've got a dandy for you. It is the number 3 seeded Rams of Southeast Polk with a 31-10 record, set to take on the number 6 seed and its debut appearance in the state tournament, the Tigers from Cedar Falls High School. Well, once again, good evening, everyone. Daniel Versteg alongside Nick Brinks here on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Southeast Polk, Cedar Falls, getting here to the state tournament. And as we mentioned, for Cedar Falls, it is their first ever state tournament appearance. A very impressive season they've had, 30-9 under third-year head coach Samantha Tepley. There you see they defeated Iowa City High in the region championship game. It was a barn burner of a contest, 7-6, had to take a lead late. And they've had some great performances from Sydney Runyon and Lexi Truig. Those two will kind of be the 1-2 punch, whether it's at the plate or in the circle. Meanwhile, Southeast Polk, they had to get past Ankeny, a CIML rival, and they did so by 1 run, a score of 3-2. An outstanding defensive team, fielding .965 and just a few errors on the season. A couple of big weapons there, and none bigger than Kennedy Baroud, one of the top hitters in the state, top RBI producer with 55 of them on the year. She's also hit 10 home runs to lead Southeast Polk to the state tournament. We're going to take a break, come back, and we'll be ready for first pitch here in just a few moments. You're watching the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
It's Frank. Frank. Mr. Frank. I just want you to know, I think you're the best ever.
In your neighborhood, there's a place so good. It's so nice to be at a store meant for me. The feeling of family, you have to agree.
Wow, thanks, Fairway Frank.
Welcome to Fairway, your Fairway family.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, President of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
And I'm Erin Gerlich, Executive Director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We'd like to thank you for joining us for the Girls State Softball Tournament.
The Iowa Farm Bureau knows that strong, vibrant schools are the cornerstone of our communities. That's why we're proud to be the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and this amazing state tournament. This tournament not only showcases Iowa's elite teams, but the athletes competing here today are among our nation's best and brightest.
To it and not. You want to tilt that just a little bit? There we go. Unless that's the thing doing it.
Tigers is Sam Tepley. And now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for Southeast Polk. Number 3, Ava Miller. Number 5, Macy Mike. Number 7, Carly Kielman. Number 8, Brenly Goat. Number 13, Ella Wheatley. Number 16, Reese Murphy. Number 17, Elena Goldsberry. Number 19, Josie Osborne. Number 20, Josie Wadstrom. Number 37, Sloan Gaffney. Number 39, Riley Miller. The assistant coaches are Kathy Harrington, Jada Long, Madeline Jansen, Shannon Stussy, Brittany Michael, and Vern King. Now let's meet the starters for Southeast Polk. Leading off, the sophomore, the shortstop, number 10, Allie Clark. Batting second, the freshman, the left fielder, number 22, Berkeley Wheeland. Batting third, a senior, the first baseman, number 26, Kennedy Baruch. Batting fourth, a senior, the third baseman, number 21, Jesslyn Stairs. Batting fifth, a junior, the center fielder, number 9, Jaden Woods. Batting sixth, the sophomore, the catcher, number 1, Haley Chamuntry. Batting seventh, a sophomore, the pitcher, number 15, Carter Price. Batting eighth, a freshman, the DP, number 11, Ivy Orelko. Batting ninth, a junior, right fielder, number 31, Kenna Brooker. And the flex player, a junior, playing second base, number 12, Lindsay West. And coach for Southeast Polk is Tia Stiles. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the area in front of home plate for the introduction of our umpires for this game. At first base, Casey Conover. At third base, Cam Cooksey. And calling your balls and strikes, Mike Christner. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to play state tournament softball.
And before we get things rolling, we would like to remind you once again that you're watching the 2025 Girls State Softball Championships presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. As sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, Iowa Farm Bureau believes in the Iowa girl, cultivating character, work ethic, and leadership on and off the field. By investing in Iowa's youth, we're investing in Iowa's future. Pre-game festivities wrapped up here at the Girls State Softball Tournament with Nick Brinks, Daniel Versteg with you. Cedar Falls and Southeast Polk just about ready to get started, and 5A continues to be a thrill. We've had, we had a run rule on this field not too long ago with Ankeny Centennial, but I like either side on this one. It could be a very interesting matchup. These two met in a region tournament last year, and I think we're in for a good one today.
I think so, with Waukee Northwest and Ankeny Centennial already having locked up semifinal spots. You look at this matchup, if you're looking and you're a person that likes the Cinderella story, there are 40 teams here in Fort Dodge this week. 39 have been here before. Right. One has not, and we will get to see them play the Cedar Falls Tigers this afternoon. And then you've got Southeast Polk. They've been here 12 times. Long-time head coach, 27 years for Tia Stiles. They're back. It's her 8th trip to Fort Dodge with her team. Looking forward to this one. We had some crazy 4A games this morning. We had 9 innings twice in the 4A games this morning and this afternoon on this field. 5A, 5-inning, 9-0 win for Ankeny Centennial just a little bit ago. So not quite the crazy excitement we saw earlier in the day, but you look at these two teams, you got to love what you've seen out of Cedar Falls this year. Record-breaking season. Just getting to state, that's record-breaking for Cedar Falls. But they have so many accolades, honors, and records broken this year. Most wins in almost 20 years for this Tiger team. Southeast Polk, they've been here. They've done that. We'll see if Southeast Polk can use that experience to their advantage or if Cedar Falls can keep the Cinderella season going.
And Carter Price will get things started for Southeast Polk as she steps to the rubber and delivers one down to Lexi Trueg. We're underway. Yeah, we're actually right on time on this field. As you mentioned, we had some excitement in Class 4A. A lot of it concentrated to this field with 2 9-inning games, but Ankeny Centennial did us a favor in the game prior, finishing in 5 innings. As we are off to a 2-0 start to Lexi Truegg, the Cedar Falls Tigers again. As you mentioned, Nick, first time at the state tournament, and a really impressive job. Samantha Tepley in just her 3rd season as the head coach of the Tigers, leading them to Fort Dodge, Iowa. And that one doesn't quite have enough to catch the outside corner. Truegg falls ahead to start the count.
You mentioned before the game Amanda Fink and Sydney Runyon. They're kind of the heart and soul of the power of this batting lineup. We'll see them midway through, but right at the top here, Lexi Truegg, team leader in runs and hits, 2nd best batting average on the team, and she's on with a walk here early in the going.
Yeah, it's almost automatic that Truegg will get aboard. About a 50-50 chance that she will reach first base at least. Currently working on a 10-game hitting streak, so she's going to have a chance to continue that at some point. Sophie Stanek will come up next for Cedar Falls, the senior who is getting a chance to hit against Southeast Polk. When these two met in a region semifinal last year, she was only able to run the bases and was able to score 1 of the 5 runs the Tigers had in that contest.
As they fell 6-5. Could this be another close one here this afternoon and into this evening? We're hoping so.
Yeah, we've had some close games in this series. The only other meeting in 2019, that was also a region semifinal. Small ball, bunt up the first base line. Throw is wide into right field, and Truegg will head to third base. The throw comes in from right, and now they might be trying to bait a run down here between first and second. They're just going to relinquish second base, and the Tigers wasting no time. They've got second and third to open the inning.
No outs, and you've got 2 in scoring position. I don't know if Coach Tepley could have drawn up a better start. We'll see if you get to the meat of the order here with Fink and Runyon and just a couple batters. Can they take an early lead and set the tone here early in the going for the Cedar Falls Tigers?
Now, from this vantage point, we can't read lips, but I think I can read body language from Coach Tia Stiles. She was just saying, hey, let's relax. We've been here before. Let's do the things that have gotten us here, because this team, as we mentioned, plays some very good defense, both Southeast Polk and Cedar Falls. Errors are very rare, but they've already chalked one up for Southeast Polk here in this contest. And now Tia Stiles is checking in with home plate umpire Mike Christner as to whether or not that ball up the first base line where the base runner Stanek ran was enough to deem interference on the first baseman Baroud's ability to field the ball. But no bite from the umpire to go the way of Coach Stiles, and now Kennedy Buskell fights it foul to start her at bat.
Southeast Polk missed the state tournament last year. They had been here the 3 previous years in 23, 22, and 21. They made it to the semifinals 2 years ago, so they know a thing or two about winning in the quarterfinal round. Right now, though, with 2 on in scoring position, without a hit, it's Cedar Falls in charge.
The strike zone's been kind of small to start things off for Carter Price, who, outside of swings and misses and balls in play, has not gotten a strike called her way. And she's stuck with 2 in scoring position because of it, but now is ahead of the count to Buskell at a ball and 2 strikes.
A few numbers for Carter Price, making her 25th start of the year, start of the season, 17-7 record, has an ERA just under 3 per game. She has given up 61 earned runs, struck out 79, and walked 45, including Lexi Truegg here in the first.
The 1-2, just a bit up. And it's kind of interesting, we see a lot of softball throughout the season. It's not very often you see a team that might pitch 2 pitchers in the same game. We've got 2 of those teams right here. We might see a relief pitching scenario as this one just misses inside to fill the count. Macy Bice has pitched a lot for Southeast Polk. Might go to her if things go the wrong way here for the Rams. Sydney Runyon, Lexi Truegg. Good 1-2 punch when it comes to pitching, and Coach Tepley says she's not afraid to use both, as there's a walk, and Southeast Polk has put themselves in a jam. Base is loaded, nobody out. As you talked about, Nick, here comes the power with Amanda Fink to hit.
10 home runs for Fink this year. Sydney Runyon on deck. She's got another 10. Never say never. If you're the Tigers here, maybe looking for a 4-0 lead right off the bat with no outs.
big at bat early, and Fink swinging to the first pitch, fouls it off. Talking to Coach Tepley, getting her insight before this state tournament, she mentioned Amanda Fink and Sydney Runyon. She says those two carry the team offensively, and understandably so, just looking at the numbers. Those are two big bats to get through, and this one's walloped all the way out to center, and it's a grand slam for Amanda Fink. The Tigers, in their first ever state tournament game, have a signature moment for the junior Fink.
11th home run of the season, and if you are Amanda Fink, I think 11 is the sweetest of them all so far. It's almost like we mentioned that was a possibility, and you also wonder, has that happened this season to start a game? Such a powerful hitter, you load the bases, and she brings them all home. And now Sydney Runyon, she would love to do the same thing, but a quick 4-0 jaunt just like that for the Tigers.
That thing was gone off the bat. It was hardly worth turning around for Woods in center field, and that was an extra base hit as well. Extra base hits in today's game brought to you by Channel Seeds. The enhanced Channel Seed brand is here to help farmers like you up your game and rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Counts even to Sydney Runyon, who's looking to see if she can follow things up, keep the train on the track for the Tigers, who 2 walks, an error. They all come back to haunt with a grand slam home run by Fink. And she gets back to the count, 2 balls and a strike to Runyon.
That's got to be really tough for Price. You give up a couple walks. There was an error to get the third base runner on, and then the power of Fink brings them all home. Sydney Runyon steps up now, the lefty, with a 2-1 count.
And it's really been a tough go of things trying to find the strike zone for Carter Price. Again, outside of maybe one strike, everything's had to be swing and miss, foul ball, put in play for a strike. 3-1, and that one's fought off. So we'll do it again with a count full to Runyon.
Runyon was a huge part of their win to get here in their Iowa City High 7-6 win. 3 for 3, couple RBIs, had a double on the night, a 7-6 win. Those were numbers that had a huge impact on just getting to the state tournament.
And that double you mentioned came in the 5th inning. That gave them the lead over the Little Hawks for good. This one's fought off again, and Runyon, she just doesn't go away very easily, and this is someone you're going to have to earn the out on because, again, she just makes plays. She's so consistent, produces results. That's what Coach Tepley had to say afterwards after that win over Iowa City High. She's just a producer when it comes to making plays on the diamond. Another payoff pitch, and this one's walloped to right, all the way back and gone. The Tigers go back to back, and it's a 5-run first for Cedar Falls here in their first ever state tournament.
Like Cedar Falls, I'm making my state tournament debut, and it's incredible to mention something like that, where you get these 2 girls leading the team with 10 home runs apiece, and they both do it here in the first. Just an absolute crusher if you're Southeast Polk right now. A lot of game left, but slow start here, and with no outs, Cedar Falls is still looking for more.
And this is going to be all she wrote for Carter Price, unable to get an out in the first inning. And Southeast Polk is going to call upon Macy Bice. So we mentioned this as a possibility. It is an IMT defensive substitution. Substitutions in this game brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. A really rough outing for Carter Price. She allows 2 hits, both of them home runs, 2 walks, and 5 runs, 4 of them earned in a really rough outing here at the state tournament. And Macy Bice, who is called upon in relief for just the 2nd time this season. She's made 18 starts. She's got some good numbers as well. 13-2 on the year with a 3.71 ERA. But unfortunately, Nick, the damage might be done. 5-run deficit in the first inning. We've seen crazier things happen today, but it takes a monumental effort from everybody to make that comeback happen.
Now, just a couple games ago on this field, it was Western Dubuque with a 7-3 lead going to the bottom of the 7th over North Polk. North Polk scores 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th, including a 3 RBI double, force extra innings, and then North Polk walks it off with a sac fly in the bottom of the 9th. So that was a 4-run deficit in the 7th. Never say never. If you are a Southeast Polk fan down 5-0, you can't, it's way too early to say this one's done. But you have to feel a little worried if you're the Rams. You've already had to make a pitching change. You've got no outs, and you've already given up 5 runs, a grand slam, and another solo shot. It's got to start here if you're the Rams and trying to come back.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get an out. That's step number 1. They haven't done that yet. And Charlie Henricks takes the first called strike to my recollection in this inning. 0-1 as Macy Bice, she last pitched in the regular season. Did not pitch at all in the postseason against Ottumwa. Allowed 5 hits and 2 runs. Not really a strikeout kind of pitcher. She's going to induce weak contact if she's going to get outs in any way. And she's already gotten off to a good start here, ahead 0-2 on Henricks.
Just 32 strikeouts on the year. She's walked 16 in 94 innings. Like you said, not a ton of strikeouts from her, but they just needed something a little different. They were taking advantage of Price, and now a pitch on the outside, ball from her, 1-2 the count. Still looking for that first out, but you have to feel good if you are Bice. First pitch across the plate, strike 1, maybe calm the team and get the jitters under control.
Really needs to get this one here, 1-2, and that's taken down. And these Tigers, you know, I think the other underlying kind of theme of this is their patience. You know, think about this. This team had never been to the state tournament. Would have been really easy for them to go up here, hack it at the first pitch, weak ground balls, weak pop-ups, strikeouts. But they're not doing that. They've been so patient. They've been waiting for their pitch, and once they've gotten it, they've known what to do with it.
A lot of times when a team makes it to the state tournament for the first time, basketball, baseball, softball, whatever the sport, you always wonder, is just making it there, is that the box you check? Cedar Falls here in the first, they want more, and they're playing like it.
It's popped up. Going to be a tricky play on the left side, but it is the shortstop, Hallie Clark, to flag it down. And finally, after 13 minutes in this first inning, we have the first out of the game. And it is a pop-up off the bat of Henricks, and that will set Carly Turner up for her first AB of the night.
A 301 hitter this year, 28 hits, 22 runs, 13 RBIs for Turner.
Watch a strike 1 go by to open this at bat. And this bottom third of the order, you can't get here to the state tournament without having a solid order all the way up and down the lineup, 1 through 9. It doesn't matter who comes up for Cedar Falls, as this one evens the count. Price being run from this game. Bice has come in and done a really nice job at, simply just throwing strikes. Sometimes you just need somebody that can get it over the plate to give you a chance in an AB. There's the 1-1, and that's taken upstairs. A little rise action to Turner, who takes it for ball 2.
And you mentioned the bottom of the order. I think that's one thing that's made Cedar Falls so successful this year. The bottom of the order, 2 out of the 3 are hitting over 300, and the other isn't far below it. So all the way 1 through 9, you've got people that can put it in play.
That 2-1 is hammered out to left, deep into the corner. Long run, and the left fielder, Weiland, tracks it down. A nice hustling play deep down the line for out number 2. And now to be Rachi to hit. Kira Rachi, the catcher, 8th hitter of the Cedar Falls first. After the first 5 base runners not only reach, but score, thanks to a grand slam from Amanda Fink and Sydney Runyon, following it up with a solo blast of her own.
And on the home runs, I didn't mention it, but both of those home runs landed in the bleachers around a bunch of red shirts. So if you're Cedar Falls, you have to like that too.
You got to, you give your fans a little souvenir. As the 1-0 is popped up. And now, of course, that souvenir only lasts you so long because they make sure that with home run balls, they try and get those to the parents of the athlete that hit them, whether it's the mom or the dad. They usually try and make sure those are in their possession so that they can go up on the trophy case. Line shot right at the center fielder Woods, and that will finally put an end to a rough first inning for Southeast Polk. But the Tiger fans give their bats a round of applause. It's 5 for the Tigers. Southeast Polk first crack at the plate. That'll be coming up when we come back. You're watching the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
No, that is not incorrect on your screen. Cedar Falls jumps out to a 5-run advantage with back-to-back home runs, started by an Amanda Fink grand slam and followed up right away by a Sydney Runyon solo shot to right. And now Southeast Polk, I know it's tricky, Nick, but they probably have to come up here and think it's 0-0. We just got to do our work to try and start chipping away, but for them, they got to just look at putting runs on the board.
Yeah, we talked for Cedar Falls. We talked about a couple of the girls that ended up hitting home runs. You look at Southeast Polk, Berkeley Weiland, a top 5 batting average in Class 5A. She's batting second. Kennedy Baroud, she's also got 10 home runs. So far, if you've got 10 home runs, you've got 11 now. You'd love to be on the board, maybe 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, getting through this first inning. We'll see what the top of the order can do for the Rams.
Sydney Runyon will try and help herself out. Dials in a strike to open her evening. Runyon a 14-5 record, and she's pitching with the winning decision already in her hands, which is certainly a comfortable place to be for any pitcher in softball. But facing again, as we mentioned, a very good offense for Southeast Polk. Team that averages 6.5 runs a game, playing 24 of those games in the CIML, which has 5 teams here at the state tournament. It's a hot shot to second, and Henricks has no problem with it. Allie Clark is put away to open Southeast Polk's half of the first, and Berkeley Weiland will come up next for the Rams.
Leads the team with 40 singles this year. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe she's a slap bunter.
And
just get on, and then somebody like Kennedy Baroud clears the bases in that 3 slot.
Cedar Falls defense certainly reflecting the possibility for the bunt, or the slap, as this one's tapped foul. And you got the second baseman, Henricks, near the circle. Third baseman, Fink, also playing shallow. And the outfielders are basically deep infielders here at this point.
Every one of her hits this year is a single. No doubles, no triples, no homers.
Hey, just get on base, baby. First pitch, and a strike called. And Weiland's already behind the count at 0-2.
That's one of the things I love about softball. Just looking at the numbers, you can kind of tell what the story is when you see numbers like that.
Lefty slapper steps up, checks her swing, and takes a pitch off the plate. She's not going to be chasing too much, as she's only struck out 5 times in 41 games this year.
533 hitter. As we mentioned, top 5 in the class.
Ground ball back up the middle, and a quick throw. They're going to say the first baseman, Buskell, pulled her foot off the bag, and that will allow the one-out base runner, Weiland, to reach, and that'll bring up Kennedy Baroud, the Southeast Polk first baseman. So Baroud will get a chance here with a base runner on as Southeast Polk starts to try chipping away at this deficit in the first inning. They are going to give an error to the shortstop, Truig, on that bad throw. Runner's going, pitches a strike, throw down is just a bit tardy. And a stolen base for Berkeley Weiland, because that's the thing when it comes to slappers, Nick, is you don't need doubles because you're usually fast enough to just steal second on the next pitch anyway. You get an automatic double with a single and a stolen base.
And she just stole for the 30th time this year.
So I guess you could say she's got at least 20 doubles when you factor in that.
Absolutely.
There's just off the plate. Couldn't quite steal one there. A good frame attempt by Rachi, 2-0.
So like we said in the first inning, both girls with 10 homers homered. We kind of spoke it into existence. If you're Southeast Polk, you would love Baroud to do it here.
It's a good location on 2-0. Gets a strike back. Now Baroud, top power hitter for Southeast Polk. Slugging, if you know your baseball and softball stats, 756. That's 20 extra base knocks. And as Nick just mentioned, 10 of them have gone over the fence. There's a comebacker right to the circle, and good reaction time by Runyon. She flips on to first for out number 2, relinquishing third to Weiland. Southeast Polk a base knock away from getting a run on the board, and nobody better to do it than Jesslyn Stairs. 32 RBIs for the senior, and a third-team All-State pick last year.
If you're Southeast Polk, you're really hoping for 33. You'd love to get that goose egg off the board. Give yourself a little bit of momentum going into that top of the second. You don't need all 5 runs here with 2 outs in the first, but I feel like it's a totally different atmosphere in the dugout if you can get 1 here with 1 on third.
Just catches the outside corner, evens things up. And of course, Cedar Falls in the driver's seat, and as you mentioned, Southeast Polk, chance to get back on the right track. Should mention, by the way, as this pitch is grounded to the left side, going to be a tough play at short. They will have no play to first. That's an infield single, and Jesslyn Stairs does drive in the run. Berkeley Weiland on the board for Southeast Polk as they trail 5-1.
There you go, Stairs. 33 RBIs now on the season, and you're on the board. Southeast Polk, take it one step at a time, one run at a time. They're here. They're on the board.
You can't hit a 5-run homer, so you might as well just chip away as Jaden Woods watches the first pitch go by. What I was going to mention before that base knock is the Berkeley Weiland ground ball has now been changed to a base hit by the official scorer, so no error there by the shortstop Trueck, and I think that's the right call in my opinion. That's a hot shot to short. Long throw, not in time. And the Southeast Polk Speedsters have beat out 2 infield hits to keep this inning going with 2 outs. Now they have really shown off the speed with those infield hits. Stairs and Woods getting the job done, and we know Thamantri would love to do the same. Southeast Polk catcher. I know a lot of people say catchers can't run the bases very well. I think she's the anomaly with 6 stolen bases on the year. She watches strike 1 go by.
Third most RBIs on the team, 28 for Thamantri. She's got runners at first and second, 2 outs.
Just away, and maybe a little bit of a, I don't know if that was designed or not, but maybe a bit of a pitch out, seeing if they might try and double steal and get some movement along the bases. Counts even, and a big pitch from Runyon. It's fought off foul. She's ahead here at 1-2 in a 5-1 game. This has been a really nice inning for Southeast Polk, and it could look a lot better if the Montreat can find the gap somewhere. Might be able to plate a couple of runs. Get them fully back into this one. Here's Runyon's 1-2, and a pop-up on the infield. Runyon defers to her infield, and now coming in to score is Stairs. Woods will go to second base. She's in there safe, and Southeast Polk keeps it moving with 2 outs in the inning. Now we're going to see that again as the runner got to second base. It was a tough play for Runyon. I don't know if she heard something from behind her on the infield, but she was called off at some point and let the rest of her infield try and make a play, but they couldn't quite back her up very well.
So Southeast Polk, you go into the bottom of the first, you're down 5-0, and you've come back, you've picked up 4 hits, you've put a couple runs on the board, you've settled down, you've got yourselves a ball game now.
You have a courtesy runner here for Southeast Polk, and it is an IMT insurance substitution at second base. Courtesy runner is Elena Goldsberry. The sophomore will take over on second base for the catcher, Kaylee Thamantri. So, Southeast Polk, would you believe, after that back-to-back home run from Sydney Runyon in the first inning, would you believe me if I told you that the Rams would have the tying run come up already here in the bottom of the first? This one just misses outside from Runyon, and Ava Miller will have a chance to try and get things back on track again for the Rams and see if they can keep this two-out rally afloat. This one misses just upstairs. And again, that narrow strike zone has been tough to dial in for both pitchers now.
So Miller's batting here. Price slotted in as the seventh as the starting pitcher. She came out. So I guess Ava Miller's essentially the DP now, batting in the seventh slot for her.
There's a strike called on the outer edge. Ivy O'Reilco in the on-deck circle. And I wonder if we might actually get kind of a host of pinch hitters, so to speak, in this spot. Macy Bice does not hit a whole lot, but as you mentioned, the DP has been used by Southeast Polk for their second baseman in West, Lexi West. This one catches the zone at the knees. So Coach Tia Stiles might be using that bench quite a bit so that she doesn't have to kind of handcuff her lineup the rest of the inning, or rest of the game, I should say. Big pitch, payoff, and it's shot foul toward the tarp.
And Miller's got plenty of at-bats this year. 14 hits, a batting average of .326. She's got a couple doubles. She's even got a home run. So when you can have somebody come off the bench that's hit homers during the season, you got to feel pretty good about your depth.
Scored a run as part of their regional run. A couple of games in the 5A bracket. Full count pitch again. That one's down the right field line. Can't quite keep it inside the chalk. Well, what a battle we've got going here in a first inning that has been as thrilling as some games that we've had all throughout the season and here at the state tournament. This has been fun, and we might get to do this 6 more times tonight. Can't wait. Full count again, and Runyon's pitch. That's toward the alley. It's off the glove of the center fielder, Stanek. Both runs will score, and Ava Miller comes through in the clutch. It's a one-run game here in the first inning.
Tough play for Sophie Stanek out in center field. Dead sprint to her left, just off the edge of the glove. And just like that, 5-0, now 5-4. Any jitters that Southeast Polk could have had at the top of the inning, they're gone.
Be O'Reilco to hit, the designated player here for Southeast Polk. And this is, well, I mean, just a crazy first inning. Again, the action in this inning alone has been good enough for a full game's worth, let alone just one inning. O'Reilco bouncing ball, and it's gobbled up by Henricks at second. The throw to first puts an end to the first inning of play, and it took nearly a half an hour. And it's 5-4. Cedar Falls leads after one. We got 6 more of these innings potentially for you tonight. Stick around for more girls state softball action presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Different people have different needs, so Delta Dental of Iowa has affordable dental and vision coverage that meets you where you are. Small business on a budget? We have options with no employer costs. Traditional Medicare plans don't cover dental, but we do. And if you can't get benefits at work, you can buy direct from us. Plus, we give back to local communities, so you help make an impact. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, for your community.
In a first inning that took nearly a half an hour, you can see the line score. 9 runs, 7 hits, an error. Only one base runner left on, by the way, for both those teams in the first inning. What a thrilling inning to open the contest. And the next 6 of them have a lot to live up to. With Nick Brinks, Daniel Versteg with you. Yeah, the last game we had on this diamond, Nick, it was a 9-0 win for Ankeny Centennial over Valley in 5 innings, and we've already got that many runs in 1 inning combined for these two.
And you look at the top, you look at the bottom, really could not have been any more different. You get a bunch of walks
Right.
and a couple homers for Cedar Falls, and then for the Rams, just a bunch of singles.
Yeah.
Just moving base runners around, and we've got ourselves a 1-run game in the second.
4 2-out hits for Southeast Polk. Just massive. One of them, the big one, the pinch hit, if you will, 2-run double in that first inning from Ava Miller on the 8th pitch of the at-bat, no less. It's an incredible battle. But now Macy Bice being bit by the same walk bug that Carter Price was bit by in the first inning. She falls behind 3-0 to the 9-hitter, Gabby Hanks. And we might be back to square one again here in inning number 2. The top of the order set to hit next for the Tigers. There's a strike that comes right down the heart of the plate and gets things back to 3-1. Cedar Falls, again, we mentioned their first ever trip to the state tournament. I can't think of a better way to welcome them to Fort Dodge than with that thrilling of a first inning. This pitch is hit high in the air with carry out to center field, and it is tracked down by Jaden Woods. Center fielder makes an easy play, and after the first 5 base runners have reached for Cedar Falls, it's small but significant that the last 4 have been retired in a row.
After you're giving up 5 runs before an out, that's huge.
That's huge.
So they clearly were able to carry that defensive momentum to the bottom of the inning when they were able to score 4 runs. Now let's see how Cedar Falls can bounce back. You go from up 5 to now you've already let that pretty much evaporate. How do you react here in the second?
And I like to say this every now and then, Nick. A game really doesn't start until the second time through the order because you get a chance to see a pitcher. Whether or not you succeeded against them the first time or not, it becomes a big deal to see what kind of adjustments you need to make. Now, for the first 5 hitters in the Cedar Falls order, they got on base pretty easily. But for Lexi Truegg, she didn't bring the bat off her shoulder. Now she does and smacks one to left center. To the wall, and that one is gone. The Tigers are having a home run derby here in Fort Dodge. It's their 3rd long ball of the night. It comes from the leadoff hitter, and Cedar Falls takes a 2-run advantage.
3rd of the night for Cedar Falls. 3rd of the season for Truegg. It doesn't matter who's pitching. They've now homered off of both.
No, nothing but pure joy and emotion around third base. A big hug there at home plate. It is a Channel Seeds extra base hit as well. Another one. Channel Seeds sponsoring our extra base hits here at the Class 5A State Softball Tournament. And we are back to the power hitting again as Sophie Stanek will hit for Cedar Falls, and that one is out of play. This Tiger team had 28 home runs as a team in 39 games. They've now hit 3 of them here in the state tournament. Again, we may sound like a broken record, but reiterating, they have never been here before. And the lights have not been too bright. That's the most impressive part. This might as well just be a regular season game for them. They are so calm, relaxed, and so within themselves at home plate.
They set so many school records this year with the team. It's only fitting that you get here, you hit your first home run at state. You hit your second home run at state. You're up to 3. Will they hit a 4th? We'll find out.
Man, you just got to stick around with us.
Sophie Stanek, no homers this year. Almost all of her hits have been singles. She does have 4 doubles, but a 342 hitter. She's going to play at Wartburg next year.
Behind 0-2, and she fights it off foul. And this Tiger squad, they really don't like to go away easily. Sophie Stanek, one of them, 4 punch-outs on the year in 39 games and around 100 at-bats, maybe more than that. To strike out just 4 times is so darn impressive. And we'll see if she can stave off her 5th here. Here's Bice's 0-2. That one is hit well to left center. Long run, Woods lays out, and a web gem in left center. Woods robs Cedar Falls of more extra base hits as she flies like Superwoman in center field.
What a diving effort on the run, beeline to her right, lays out for it. Dun-na-na, dun-na-na. Sports Center, top 10 plays right there.
That is an impressive grab. Again, considering all the factors we've talked about, the home runs, the extra base hits, she's played center field very well, considering all factors here today.
I know the 4th of July was a couple weeks ago, but we have had fireworks here in the first 2 innings. And, oh, by the way, we've got a bunch of innings to go. Both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Offense, defense, Cedar Falls, Southeast Polk, all kinds of highlights in this one. What a treat for us tonight.
I don't think I'm exaggerating when I'm saying this is the best softball game I've seen this year, and we're only in the 2nd inning. We've just jam-packed this game already. Even count to Buskell, and she drives one to right center. Woods, she's busy, but she's put in the work nicely. She makes all 3 outs in center field to put an end to inning number 2, but it's Lexi Truegg continuing the home run party here in Fort Dodge. Seeing if Southeast Polk has more where that came from. 4 runs bottom of the first. They'll come up to bat with 9, 1, and 2 in the second on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Back here to the Girls Union Digital Network and the state softball tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. There is Rachi, the Cedar Falls catcher, as she sets things up for the Tigers, and a nice throw down to second base here in relief as we welcome you back to our broadcast. Again, only entering the bottom of the 2nd inning, and we've had a game's worth of exciting plays, diving catches, home runs, bases clearing doubles. You name it, we've got it. And we still potentially have 5.5 innings to go in this one. And Kenna Brooker will try and keep things rolling for the Rams, who had a big 2-out rally in the first to score their 4 runs. She's a slapper, too, and sends it foul to start the inning.
So we talked about the Ankeny Centennial 9-0 win on this field earlier in one of the 5A quarterfinals. Waukee Northwest topped Dowling 4-0, so 2 shutouts in the other 2 5A finals, or games that have gone final, that is. No such shutout here.
Slapper off the third base glove. Shortstop Truegg can't quite get to first base in time. Yeah, that was going to be a bang-bang play anyway. Kenna Brooker is on, and that should be an infield single, and it is for Kenna Brooker. Leadoff base runner on for the Rams, something they did not do in that 4-run first inning. So maybe getting things started off better up top of the order. Due up to hit for Hallie Clark.
She grounded out to second in her first appearance.
Again, that second time through the order is so crucial. See what the Rams got in store. First pitch strike. And that starts things off on the right foot for Sydney Runyon. I'm going to be a little shameless here and plug that semifinal coming up on Wednesday between Waukee Northwest and Ankeny Centennial. I don't know if there's going to be a better pitcher-hitter matchup than Sophia Schlater for Waukee Northwest and Jordan Kennedy for Centennial. That's a missile to center. Oh, and a great sliding grab by Sophie Stanek.
In the last inning, we saw Jaden Woods dive for one. And this time, Stanek. She dives on that Iowa Girls Union out in center field with a nice diving play to rob the hitter.
Shoestring grab right on the logo in the center of that Iowa Girls Union logo. Here's Weiland. She tries to slap a bunt. That hit her leg. What was she out of the box or was she in the box? They're going to say she was in the box and a foul ball. Boy, Cedar Falls is not arguing it too much, but that looked pretty close to being a potential out there up the first base line. Will continue, tries to bunt again and misses it, so now Weiland's behind at 0-2.
Singled in the first, scored, also had a steal on the way to score that first run of the first for Southeast Polk.
Quickly 0-2, and Runyon slapped back to the circle, and not going to beat her to first. What a close play there. Weiland deemed to have beaten it out. 2 on, 1 out, and Southeast Polk has some traffic to try and come back in this one, and here comes Kennedy Baroud, 55 RBIs. And we're going to have a look again at that play at first base. Now that is, wow, about as close as you can get.
That was such a pretty move by Runyon to scoop that up, make that spinning toss. Just couldn't quite beat the runner. What a play there for Weiland, and I'm assuming she has done that a ton this year. Just puts defenses in tough situations where it's going to be a bang-bang play at first, and she's so quick. She makes them pay most of the time.
Yeah, credit Buskell there fielding that ball. The fact that was even remotely competitive of a play at first was because of the quick turn and throw. And now Kennedy Baroud, who we talked about off the top, is the top RBI hitter on this team, 55 of them on the season. Comes up in a big chance to try and maybe tie the game with an extra base knock. And this is down and away, and Cedar Falls understandably wants no part of the big bat of Kennedy Baroud.
She grounded out to the pitcher in that first inning, thrown out at first.
Wonder if she'll get the green light here. Find out. 3-0. It was right there, but she takes it wisely, so I might add. There's only a few certain instances where I'd say green light a hitter on 3-0. And we're not quite there yet for Southeast Polk. If they had a lead, maybe, but still need to come back. Here's a 3-1. That one's roped up the middle and a base hit. Here comes Brooker, and it's a 1-run game here in the bottom of the second inning as Kennedy Baroud continues her RBI tear on softball pitchers here in the state tournament.
Just kind of slipped that one right between Truig over at short. Henricks couldn't come over from second all the way to Stanek in the outfield, and just like that, you drive in a run. You've got runners on the corners now as Brooker scores.
And Stairs a base hit away from tying the game here with 1 out. First pitch to her, and Stairs grounds one the other way. They're going to go to first. That's the only play they had, and this game is tied. Berkeley Weiland comes in to score on a very great ball in play by Stairs. Gets the ground out, second out of the inning, but more importantly, ties the game up, and that's just a very selfless at-bat from the cleanup hitter.
She drives in Weiland. Tie ball game. After a 5-0 start for Cedar Falls, Southeast Polk has outscored the Tigers 6-1 since. They have out-hit them 8-3 so far.
Those 3 hits have all been home runs for Cedar Falls. It's a
trouble
lazy
here.
pop-up. Yeah, it is trouble, but the left fielder Turner flags it down, and this inning comes to an end. So after 2, the only logical outcome is a tie game at 6 runs apiece. See what Cedar Falls has in store. Middle of their order will be due up when we come back on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
Back here to a wild Class 5A state quarterfinal with Nick Brinks. I'm Daniel Verstag. It is a tie game. And Amanda Fink had the grand slam homer in the first. See what she's got to follow that up with as she takes a ball in the dirt to start this at bat. Yeah, we were talking, Nick, in between innings. You got Fink, Runyon, home runs. How can they possibly top those at bats? It's been a remarkable start to this game. Here's the 1-0. And that one's just up.
So the numbers say Fink can't physically top it.
No.
You can't have empty bases and beat a grand slam. However, Runyon, a solo shot.
Right.
If Fink can help her out, she could double it.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not putting anything out of the realm of possibility in this game because I've done that already, and it's come back to bite me. This is a mile-high fly to right center. Woods, who was camping out on the warning track, gets there in deep right center, and Fink is retired for the first time this evening.
And that is now 5 straight outs to Jaden Woods in center field. She laid out for one of them, a Sports Center top 10-esque play earlier. But, yeah, 5 straight outs. You know where Cedar Falls is hitting the ball right now, and that's straight to center field. That's a pretty logo right in center field.
We got to get it some airtime here, and we certainly have. Woods has put it on display. Heck, Sophie Stanek has put it on display as well. She made a great catch in the last half inning. That's a really nice job by the grounds crew here at Harlan and Hazel Rogers Softball Complex. They do an outstanding job. These fields are in pristine condition each and every year, and it shows when they continue to make moves like that to just up the ante a little bit every year.
Runyon homered in the first. That was her 11th of the year. She came in with a team-high 50 RBIs. She's now second because Fink took the lead with that grand slam.
Behind 0-2. Yeah, got a gift there from Macy Bice on a pitch that was not competitive. It's 1-2.
I think that was the highest pitch I have seen all day so far. Just got away from her a little bit.
Well,
she'll regroup here for the 1-2. Still ahead on the batter, though.
That's the thing, too. I mean, yeah, these pitches have all been very competitive. It's not been, pitchers throwing it all over the yard. There's a swing and miss for strike 3. And Sydney Runyon is the first strikeout of the game for any batter here tonight.
I was just about to say, we have seen a whole lot of things in this game. But you know what we haven't seen?
Not a strikeout.
That. We haven't seen a strikeout. Now we have, and now second baseman Charlie Henricks going into her sophomore year at Cedar Falls. She'll step up.
Oh, what a great sport. Softball is just so much fun to watch, and state tournament never ceases to amaze with what kind of competition is put out on the diamonds here in Fort Dodge. It is so good. I can't stress this enough. If you've never been to Fort Dodge for the state tournament, you've got to get here this week. Drop what you're doing, get to Fort Dodge if it's possible, because the games are so good. Softball is just as competitive as it's ever been in the state of Iowa, and I think the games have reflected that for the most part here this week so far.
My first time up here at the girls' state tournament, but I've been to the Harlan Rogers complex quite a bit. Celebration concerts, Night Ranger, Foreigner, and REO Speedwagon. They've all been up here. It's a lovely facility for softball and beyond. So, yeah, great to be here. And
it's a lot of use.
And if you're Charlie Henricks here, you got to feel like I need to step up a little bit. I was the first out in that 5-run first inning. I didn't get on base. I got to redeem myself right here.
1-2. Couldn't quite dial in a strike. And the nice thing, though, is, again, as we've talked about, not only the jitters, but then, for lack of a better term, the jitters within the jitters. You're behind 0-2. You're thinking you need to swing at everything. Charlie said, you know what? Take a couple pitches, and let's even the count. Let's see what Macy Bice has to throw at me. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Another thing we haven't seen in this game is a 3-up, 3-down inning.
There's a liner to right, and we still haven't seen one. A lead-off or a 2-out base hit. Charlie Henricks is aboard, and Cedar Falls trying to do something they haven't done is rally with 2 outs in this game. It'll be Carly Turner to see if she can keep the momentum going.
28 hits on a .298 batting average season for Turner, the sophomore, playing out in left field tonight. She'll step up with Henricks at first.
Just low to start things off from Macy Bice. Turner, they fly out deep into the left field corner. That's the thing. All of the outs recorded, maybe -1, have been incredibly hard hit to some of the deepest parts of the yard and into the alleyways. It's the 1-0. That one does clip the bottom of the zone at the knees to even the count.
And keeping an eye on Henricks at first. Only 5 steals this year, so not a huge threat that you're expecting to make the run for second, but certainly can't rule it out.
See if Bice can work out of this. That's a pop-up. Should be a can of corn for Stairs if she's got room, and she does. Puts it away. It is the 3rd out of the inning. For the first time tonight, we have a scoreless half inning of softball. Just the one hit for Charlie Henricks. And we'll see if it's Southeast Polk's turn to take their first lead of the night. See what they've got in store in the bottom of the 3rd. Coming up next on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Well, we'd like to say thanks again to the Iowa Farm Bureau for presenting the 2025 Girls State Softball Championships. As the sole title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, the Iowa Farm Bureau honors both academic and athletic excellence, helping to nurture the next generation of Iowa leaders. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau, for your coverage and sponsorship of the Girls Union here at the state softball tournament. With Nick Brinks, Daniel Versteg with you in a thrilling Class 5A state quarterfinal. If you're tuned in, you shouldn't have any reason to leave. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning, tied at 6. And it is Kaylee Thamantry who had a big RBI hit in inning number 1 that kept that 2-out, 4-run inning afloat. And Thamantry takes one off the plate to open things up in the bottom of the 3rd. So 6, 7, 8 here for Southeast Polk. And as we talked about earlier, these 1 through 9, nobody in the order is a weak spot for these two teams. Case in point, Thamantry's got her second hit out of the 6 hole. And right now, with the 5 at-bats, 6 through 9 in the order, they are 4 for 5 with a double and 3 RBIs. I'd say Southeast Polk is getting a ton of production.
And now we'll see Macy Bice. She hasn't batted yet tonight. She'll step up here batting in the 7 slot. Carter Price, the starting pitcher, was slated to be in the 7 slot. Came out in the first inning, and they used Ava Miller, who had a 2 RBI double. I'm surprised they don't have her back in that spot. But they will give Macy Bice a chance here, showing bunt as the runner moves on to second, but they don't hang on to make the play.
Goldsberry, her 11th stolen base of the year. She gets herself to second base. And why not another thing that we haven't seen before? Macy Bice, the senior, does not have a plate appearance. No at-bats, no walks, no nothing. This is at-bat plate appearance numero 1 for Macy Bice. Runner on second, trying to bunt over to third, and falls even, 1-1.
Everything we've seen so far today. It's only fitting that somebody gets their first at-bat of the season in the state tournament, right? I have that on my bingo card. I'm one away from a hook, line, and sinker here. I need the upper left corner.
I was going to say, at this point, you should be at blackout, honestly. 1-1 and a bunt pulled back. Really good read there by Bice. And you can tell how big of a moment this is. I don't think there's anybody sitting in the Southeast Polk dugout wanting to see what Macy Bice can do with the bat in her hand after she spent so much of her time pitching. 2-1 and just couldn't quite get that one down. It's even at 2-2.
I actually had a chat with her mom. That's who I got pregame pronunciations from earlier. And so they're certainly excited to see her out there. And she came into pitch. She's just given up the 1 run. So Southeast Polk has kind of rallied around her as pitcher. We'll see what happens here. She's got a full count now.
What a close 2-2 pitch and a great take by Bice. She's worked the count full in AB number 1. Can she get on? Runyon's payoff. Oh, and she fought it off foul. I'm having more fun watching the Ram dugout. They were going to rip that fence out of the ground with how excited they are.
She gets another chance here. Another payoff upcoming with a runner at second. And a chance to take a lead after trailing 5-0 before the first out of the game.
Another foul ball. That is the loudest dugout I've ever heard for a foul ball. This is an incredible at-bat for Macy Bice. Again, her first AB of the season, and she's going to see pitch number 8 in it.
It's going to clear the fence. Just watch. That's the kind of game it has been. Tied at 6.
Can't rule it out. Another payoff. It's ball 4. The Rams are beside themselves in the dugout. Macy Bice has walked on 8 pitches. Oh, man.
So I guess she'll have to wait for another at-bat. She's still stuck at 0.
That's true.
Plate appearances go up, though. Now she'll come out. They'll bring in a runner for her.
Nobody is more popular in that Ram dugout than Macy Bice, as she's checked out for the courtesy runner, Reese Curfey.
Yep, Reese Curfey takes over. And she has scored 4 runs this year.
It is an IMT insurance substitution as well. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. So here we go. Now bunt shown by Arilco. Drops a beauty up the first base line. Throw to first is there. It is out number 1, but it gets the job done. Curfey to second, Goldsberry to third, and the courtesies are in scoring position for Kenna Brooker.
Goldsberry's at third. Curfey's to second. And now they go to the bottom of the order. A single for Brooker in that second inning. A leadoff hit. Has a chance with 1 out to give her team their first lead here in the state tournament.
Takes a strike to open things up. Third baseman Amanda Fink, really shallow over there, wanting to come home with a bunt her way. Slapper fouled back. And Brooker falls behind 0-2. And boy, the crazy thing is if Runyon gets a strikeout here, she's got a good shot at getting out of this inning with the game still tied. Boy, this is a big pitch. Brooker, can the 9-hole come through? Runyon's 0-2, just outside. What a take.
Bottom of the order, a .329 hitter. No rest for the weary if you're Runyon pitching here. You got to work for this second out.
Yeah, even though it is the 9-hole hitter. 1-2. Liner to the left. It's over the head of the left fielder. That'll get the job done. Brooker comes through in the clutch, and the Rams lead for the first time tonight. It's a Channel Seeds extra base hit and a 2-run double for Kenna Brooker, who is grinning from ear to ear in scoring position.
Bottom of the order, you get a single and a double. Couple RBIs. She's scored, and she's still out there, a chance to score again. What a performance here from the junior right fielder as they have taken the lead, trailing 5-0, now leading 8-6. Incredible for Southeast Polk.
And Cedar Falls is going to have to call upon their bullpen here as the shortstop, Lexi Trueg, will take over and pitch. It is, once again, another IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT by visiting imtins.com. So it appears the changes that follow that would be Sydney Runyon is going to take over at first base, and the first baseman, Kennedy Buskell, looks to be moving to shortstop. So, well, I should mention that when I talked about the fact that both these pitchers could be utilized in the same game for both teams, I had no idea that it would come this way. I thought it might be, hey, let's have her see the first time through the order and let them see a different arm the second time through. But at this point, it's been out of sheer necessity that these two have had to go to their bullpens here midway through this game.
Just a crazy game so far. And if you're Cedar Falls, you have to kind of think, what the heck? Southeast Polk, though, no quitting these girls. Their head coach has been there for 27 years. She's seen a lot. I'm sure she has instilled a bunch of wisdom here this afternoon. She kept her girls composed.
Right.
There are teams that would fold in the first inning, down 5-0. You just gave up 2 homers. But now, 2 innings later, and we are now just 1 run away from tying the highest scoring game of the day, that 9-inning North Polk Western Dubuque Classic.
Tally Clark back to the top of the order, and Truegg misses inside to open her at bat. And you mentioned it earlier, too. Not only have they come back from down 5-0, Southeast Polk has outscored Cedar Falls 8-1 since the end of the top of the first inning. Clark takes a really good changeup at the knees, evens the count.
So the 8-1 scoring advantage, 10-1 hitting advantage in that stretch as well. And there haven't been any Cedar Falls errors to aid them.
Nope.
So it's been clean. They're just putting it in play.
Yeah, let something good happen for you. The 1-1 misses outside. There was a question about whether 1 should be an error in inning number 1, but they deemed it a hit, and I think wisely so. I thought that was a pretty
it was going to be a tough play to make.
That was a pretty strict error call by our scorer, and he wisely changed it pretty quickly. Hot shot to third. The hot corner Fink throws on to first, and Runyon already thrown into the fire with a nice scoop there. That will allow Brooker to get to third base. Second out of the inning, so the sacrifice taken out of the question. And now here's Berkeley Weiland to hit. That slap hitter who's 2 for 2 tonight.
Fink over at third, hesitated, was keeping an eye on the runner around second base. Still had time to make the throw to first. Nice play.
First pitch. And Tinks, a strike called on that outside corner. Southeast Polk, again, leading for the first time tonight. An 8-6 advantage for the Rams against Cedar Falls in their first ever state tournament. Ground ball back up the middle. Tough play for the pitcher. Oh, they got the runner on a rundown. Throw to third, not in time. And going to second base is Berkeley Weiland. So the Rams don't score, but the inning continues. They'll have second and third with 2 outs. And we'll take a look at that play once again. Yeah, it's tough with that third baseman crashing. Just didn't have a chance to get back to the bag.
And I look at the throw to first. If you make it, you give up the chance to tag the runner at home. And if you don't make the out, I think it was going to be a tough play.
Right.
Honestly, that might have been best case scenario if you're Cedar Falls. Just let them get to first and the runner's still not at home.
Unfortunately for the Tigers, it gives them an opportunity to face Kennedy Baroud, who, as we mentioned a number of times already, leads the team in RBIs coming into the state tournament.
Weiland officially goes down, reaching on a fielder's choice.
And that is taken below the zone. It's really tough to throw a pitch that Stairs cannot hit. Now you're giving her a hitter's count. This is a really good chance for her to make a big dent on the scoreboard. Literally, potentially. See what Truegg's got for her. The 2-0. And a ground ball, weakly hit past third and foul.
So Baroud here, 1 for 2 on the night. RBI single in the second, ground out to the pitcher in the first. And what a difference it makes from the first inning when she grounded out. Her team was down 5-0. Now they're up 2. A little less pressure, I feel like. But you've got 2 in scoring position, so then the pressure comes right back.
Good take up and away. But Truegg has fallen behind again, and you give the hitter's count a chance to come through. This is a swing away pitch. 3-1. Oh, what a good location. You cannot draw up a better 3-1 pitch than that.
Brooker, she's over at third. She had the 2 RBI double that broke the 6-6 tie. She's hoping for a chance to come home, put 9 on the board. Baroud hoping to do just that with Weiland at second.
Payoff upstairs. Bases are loaded with ball 4. And Jesslyn Stairs, who has had a great night as well. She's driven in 2 and will come up to hit with the bases loaded and 2 gone. This is another big at bat. in a game like this, every at-bat is big, but especially this one. If the Rams can blow this game out of reach, it could be really tough for the Tigers to stage a comeback here tonight.
She came in with the second most RBIs on the team this season. She's got 34 now on the year, including the 2 she's tacked on. And with 2 outs, bases loaded, a chance for more.
The pitch. Oh, and she just missed that one. Tell that she really wanted to get around on it, but evens the count at 1-1. It's a big spot for Truegg, trying to limit the damage and see if she can leave that inherited base run here. Brooker and the 2 she's put on stranded on the bases. 1-1 count. Lefty Stairs. And here's the pitch. Down and away. You need some competitive pitches here. It's not been a whole lot of that from Truegg. And facing some good hitters. I can understand why you want to pitch around them, but you also don't want to let this lead grow anymore for the Rams. 2-1 count. The pitch. Down and away. 3-1. And things could continue here for Southeast Polk. They might bat their 9th hitter of this inning if Stairs can reach.
And there's no room on the base paths. A walk will drive in another run here.
Gotta come after her. Big pitch. The 3-1. And she fought it off foul. Boy, lucky to stay alive. The runners can get a head start, by the way, in the sense that they can run as soon as the pitch is thrown, obviously.
No worry about tagging up. It's either you're coming home or you're headed back to the dugout because this one's headed to the 4th.
3-2. Here go the runners. And Stairs fouls it out of play.
That's the second one we've seen clear the top of the foul net over toward the concession stands. Those are probably the most dangerous balls hit out of this place because that's headed to people that if you're not looking up to the sky, you're trying to figure out, am I getting Doritos or Fritos, you might take one off the back of the head. You got to be careful.
You got to keep your head on a swivel out here in Fort Dodge. That's the name of the game. 3-2 pitch again, and Stairs, little blooper, gets the job done. Brooker's in. Weiland follows. A 2-out, 2-run hit for Jesslyn Stairs, and the Rams put up a 4 spot, lead it 10-6.
Incredible. Second hit of the night for Stairs. She's up to 4 RBIs, and they're going to get through the entire inning here, or the entire batting order in this 3rd inning. What an inning here.
Jaden Woods to hit, who has had a great night in the field. And the Rams have batted 9. Truegg trying to get out of this inning. Now, I got to ask you a question. I've heard the kind of term batting around now can technically only mean batting 10. Do you say batting around for 9, or do you say batting through the order for batting just 9 batters?
I'd say through the order.
Batting through? Okay, yep. That's kind of the newer way to describe that, if you will. But the Rams might bat around anyway because it's 3-0, 2 outs. And it is. Runners on the corners here with 2 gone in the inning. 3-0 pitch, down and away, ball 4. Truegg's lost control of the zone. The bases are loaded once again, and the Rams will bat around as Kaylee Thamantri is back to hit for the Rams. She started this big 4-run inning with a base hit to open things up and later scored, or her courtesy runner scored later in the game on a Kenna Brooker double. The home plate umpire, Mike Christner, has gone out to the circle to try and break up that quick conference between the catcher, Kara Ratchie, and the pitcher, Lexi Truegg. So bases loaded scenario again. First pitch, Thamantri takes a high strike. It's 0-1.
So with that walk to Woods, they've got 3 hits in the inning, including Thamantri to lead things off a little while ago, as that one's fouled out toward the concession stand again.
So 0-2, and if there's ever been a time for an out for Lexi Truegg, it's got to be here. You got to limit the damage And it's a big ask, potentially. Here we go, 0-2. Popper, right side, and that's caught by Runyon, and this inning comes to an end. But Southeast Polk blows up for 4. They score those 4 runs on 3 hits, 3 walks, and a fielder's choice. We are going to the top of the 4th inning. Can this game get any better? Just stick around and find out. Cedar Falls down 4 when we come back in the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
We're through 3 very eventful innings here in the Class 5A state tournament. And Southeast Polk took their first lead in the last half inning with a 4 spot. They lead it 10-6. As we welcome you back alongside Nick Brinks, I'm Daniel Versteg. You're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy. Well, a recap of this game would honestly take the entire half inning. So we'll just tell you, Cedar Falls scored 5 in the top of the first with a grand slam and a solo shot. Southeast Polk answered with 4 in the bottom of the inning. Tigers tacked one on in the top of the second. Southeast Polk tied it up in the bottom half. And the Rams have taken the lead with 4 in the bottom of the third. It's been a very eventful game. And if the first 3 innings are any indication of what the next 4 have in store, you're going to want to probably strap yourself to your couch because this is going to be a wild ride even if you're sitting down. Rachi goes ahead of the count. It's 2-0, and after the last inning, Cedar Falls had at the plate just a 2-out hit. Very quiet compared to the rest of this game. I'd like to see the Tigers try and get something started early here.
Of our 6 half innings so far, only the top of the third went scoreless as the Rams got through 4 batters. They did single with Charlie Henricks as they pop one up to first.
And it's put away in the back pocket of Kennedy Baroud. Puts that one away, out number 1, and it has been a really nice couple of innings as of late. Last 2 outs of the second, and of course the entirety of the third inning. Of the last 7 hitters that have come up for Cedar Falls, 6 of them have been put away. These have been some really nice innings for Macy Bice in the circle as Gabby Hanks watches strike 1 go by. It's 0-1.
I think it bears repeating. You talk about Bice having to come in that first inning. You come in, it's 5-0, you're down, and there are no outs. You have come in and pitched extremely well.
And gets another pop-up here. Who wants it? It's the Montry who calls everybody off, puts it away.
And you've only given up 1 in the next 2+ innings here. 3+. You got to tip your cap to the junior. Big night so far for her in the circle.
Now, right now, the, of course, incomplete stat line, 3 2/3, 2 hits, a run, no walks, a strikeout. That's a good day at the office, if you ask me.
The game's only strikeout.
Right. Came in a nice spot, too. Got Runyon to strike out of all hitters, the one who had the back-to-back home run in the top of the first. Capped off that 5-run frame. This is why I talk about, though, Nick, when I say that the game doesn't really start until the second time through the order. You would just assume Cedar Falls is going to have their heyday. They're going to have their way with Macy Bice in the circle, how it was against Carter Price. But outside of the home run from Truegg that second time through, there really hasn't been a very impactful swing for the Tigers since, whereas you look at Southeast Polk, They've gone on 2-out rallies. They had, they have 4 straight base runners reach in the 3rd inning. Big doubles out of the bottom of the order. That second and now 3rd time through the order for the Rams has proved monumental in allowing them to pull away. As Truitt watches it get me over strike.
Of those 11 hits for Southeast Polk, 10 were singles. Whereas for Cedar Falls, they've got the 4 hits. 3 have been home runs. Henricks has the lone solo base hit, I guess you'd call it. And now it's Truig with a home run tonight. She'll take a base on balls.
Well, that's exactly what the Tigers need. Unfortunately, it comes with 2 outs for them. So not really a whole lot in their bag of tricks to try and get her around. Sophie Stanek will be the hitter. Now, she reached on an error in inning number 1, the only time she's gotten on base.
And I was going to say, of all of our 16 runs, at least according to my math here, Stanek the only unearned run of the night with that error.
Yep.
Everything else, you've had to earn it.
Check swing, but a strike opens this at-bat. Yeah, and you're right. That is the only unearned run of the night. It just came because she was supposed to get out in that inning with the error. And the only error of the game. Just impressive defense on – it's so funny to be talking about good defense in a game that has had 16 runs, but we've seen sliding grabs. We've seen hits taken away. Again, the few that have been taken away very well, especially in center field. We've seen some great center field play in this game. That one's upstairs.
And Stanek, the last time she batted, she flew out to center field. Jaden Woods there. And you mentioned, it's kind of weird to say a good defensive effort, but the ball's just been put into perfect places.
It has.
And when you clear the fence, you can't really credit the defense. You can maybe say there have been some pitching struggles and some really good batting, but the defense has not been an issue.
No, it has not.
It's for 2 through 9 anyway out in the field.
It's been pretty good, all things considered. And there is going to be a quick conference here in the circle. Not sure who exactly prompted that one, but it was a players-only meeting in the circle. No coach needed. Tia Stiles, mentioned it off the top, has been doing this a long time, 27 years. And she has not had to worry about her players a lot. And even in this game, down 5-0 after the top of the first, her message seemed to be, hey, we're okay. Let's get back to what we know what to do with the bat in our hands. They've certainly done that. Again, outscoring the Tigers 10-1 since that big 5-run first. Big 2-2 pitch from Bice. Way upstairs, and that comes our way. Don't worry, there's a net there, Nick. You're good to go.
See, you guys have the experience. You have been here before calling state games. I think they had us on the camera when that came through. I'm sure my family will probably take a screen grab of the sheer panic on my face. I knew it wouldn't hit me, but I didn't know how much that fence would give.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to lean up against the netting here. 3-2 pitch. Pop-up stays alive. Stanek gets another crack at it, and in all of the reactions to that wild pitch, the main reaction there is Lexi Trueck getting to second base and giving the Tigers a runner in scoring position. And again, it's so funny. Cedar Falls is up 5-0. We were talking about Southeast Polk chipping away at the deficit. Tigers now have to have that same mentality. Get a run here. Try and shut it down next half inning. Change up, miss just outside. Truick's going to third, and she's in there safely. Oh, my word. What a gutsy call. Truick steals the bag at third, and they're on the corners with 2 gone for Kennedy Buskell.
And Bice was so close. That might have been one of the closest ball strike calls of the night we have seen. Obviously, Southeast Polk wishes that was just a little bit lower, and it would have been an inning ender, at least top half-wise. Instead, Cedar Falls is threatening with 2 on the corners and 2 outs.
Strike called there at the knees, excuse me. And credit as well. Of course, they didn't get the out on the play, but credit Kaylee Thamantri for not letting the umpire dictate whether or not she should throw down to third. If it's strike 3 and you throw to third, the inning's over anyway. You might as well at least try. 0-1 pitch. That is ripped down the left field line, just out in front and foul. Counts 0-2. And boy, a rarity, an 0-2 pitch in this game. We haven't seen a whole lot of them for either side, just because these have either been very patient leading to walks or they've been jumping on pitches early. They're on the corners for Cedar Falls. 0-2. Down and away. Great take. It's 1-2.
Almost in the dirt. We haven't had a situation tonight where we've had a pass ball, wild pitch, anything like that. This would be a huge situation if you're Cedar Falls. You're in a position to take advantage of something like that, but Thamantri did a great job keeping it in front.
Tough take again on a pitch that misses upstairs. 2-2. And I will say, I know we've talked about that strike zone being a bit small tonight, but credit our home plate umpire. He stayed very consistent. What's been a ball in the first inning is a ball here in the fourth. 2-2. Ground ball left side, base hit. Truegg scores and a big 2-out RBI hit for Kennedy Buskold. The Tigers are back in business in the fourth.
Truegg comes home to score. She has scored all 3 times tonight. Couple walks and her home run. 3 of their 7 from Truegg. Huge play there from Buskold with the RBI single, and now 2 on once again for Cedar Falls. Now they're back in business.
Amanda Fink, the tying run. And she smacks it to center. That's way back there. It's caught at the wall. Woods robs Fink. Potentially a game-tying home run. That glove is made out of leather, but today it's got gold lining. Jaden Woods tracks it down at the wall and keeps the Rams on top. We're going to the bottom of the fourth inning. 10-7 Southeast Polk on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You're enjoying the 2025 Girls State Softball Championships brought to you by the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud supporters of the IGHSAU, the Iowa Farm Bureau is committed to championing the talent, determination, and potential of our young athletes, the future of Iowa. And of course, we thank the Iowa Farm Bureau for bringing us a fantastic softball game, just what they ordered. It's 10-7 Southeast Polk. Nick Brinks, I'm Daniel Versteg, and again, I cannot talk enough about the play in center field of Jaden Woods. That ball may have gotten out had it not been for her making the catch at the wall.
She has made so many plays tonight. Outside of HR on the stat sheet, there's a lot of F8.
Yes.
Because your center fielder has been playing lights out, and she robbed what could have been icing on the cake from Fink. She had a grand slam in the first to center field. Could have had a 3-run shot to center field. So of her 3 at-bats, everything has been to center field. 1 cleared the fence. The other 2 did not, ultimately. And you go back to that read you just did. You said you're enjoying our coverage. I darn sure hope so, because this has been phenomenal. We're in the 4th inning, and we were almost in a 10-10 ball game.
Bice pops it up to short. She's back for her second plate appearance, but can't quite get her first hit as she flies out to the shortstop, Kennedy Buskold.
And there's also something to be said about enjoying the game just because you're here. The other 5A games were shutouts, so if you're Dowling, Catholic, or Valley, you don't score in the quarterfinal round. Maybe you didn't quite enjoy the broadcast if you're a fan of those schools. But here tonight, we've got something for the Cedar Falls fans. We've got something for the Southeast Polk fans. Right now, the Rams just a little louder, up by 3, bottom of the 4th here.
I'll just go even further. If you're a softball fan, you're having a heyday. Because I don't know about the Cedar Falls or Southeast Polk fans. I don't have a dog in the fight, and I'm stressed out watching this game. If you're a softball fan, just wants to see a good game, you're having a heyday right now, because nothing's bringing you down in the moment. Nothing. You're just along for a roller coaster of a ride.
Some people love the 1-0, the 2-1. This is not a game where we've had a whole bunch of mistakes.
Oh.
What a rip to first, by the way.
Great catch by Runyon. A line shot at first. Out number 2. Rams have gone down quickly with the first 2 outs here in the 4th.
It's just been a well-played game. We're seeing the bats getting going for both sides. We've seen a bunch of home runs. Just some good offense. To me, that seems like a really fun way to play softball. Just lots of offense.
Here's Brooker. She's had a lot of offense tonight. She pops that one foul, and it's a souvenir 3 rows deep into the elevated bleachers.
The fan that almost hauled that in has a PCM hat on. He is here early. We will have the PCM and West Liberty game coming up at the conclusion of this 5A matchup, the fourth and final 5A quarterfinal of the day. Looking forward to that one.
And if you think things can't get any better, that's a 4 seed versus a 5 seed. So it's even more, quote-unquote, even than this one, the 3-6.
And there are so many great athletes here this week.
Oh gosh.
But West Liberty's Pearson Hall, looking forward to seeing her play tonight. She is one of the top players in all classes in softball in Iowa.
Gonna have a play to first. Just beating it out is Brooker. And an infield slap hit to the right side. Nearly a great play in right field by Gabby Hanks. But Kenna Brooker, bottom of the order. Have yourself a day. 3 for 3 with a double, 2 runs and 2 RBIs. As this has been the best game for Brooker, who was, mind you, 0 for 3 in regional play coming into the state tournament. She has certainly made up for those missed at-bats. So top of the order back up, and Clark has that one. That one goes off the glove of Ratchie. And on to second goes Brooker. So that is a passed ball. I believe that's our first passed ball. We did have one wild pitch in the top of the inning, but we got a passed ball there to put a runner at second base.
Top of the order for Hallie Clark here, the sophomore shortstop. Struggling a little bit here batting tonight. She's made contact all 3 times, but a couple ground outs to the infield. She sent one to Sophie Stanek, who did her best Jaden Woods impression out in center field earlier, diving for it.
The 1-0. Just up, yeah. If there's anybody not having a good time right now, it's Hallie Clark. Top of the order, she's 0 for 3. And this is so unlike her. She's on a 5-game hitting streak coming into the state tournament where she was 7 for 15 in that stretch. Just can't quite find herself aboard here. Now she's ahead 3-0 and a chance to reach with 2 outs in this inning. Again, nothing is guaranteed. First 2 batters go down. Let's get a base hit and a 3-0 count and see if we can make things a little bit interesting here for Southeast Polk in this 4th inning. 3-0 pitch. There's a get-me-over strike, a little off-speed action. 3-1 to Clark.
So the 4A quarterfinals earlier, we had a couple go to 9 innings. The first 5A game here on Iowa Central Field went 5 innings, so we got back on time. We started this one on time at 5:15. I think our next game might be a little late, though. We're almost 90 minutes in, and we're in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, we're supposed
no end in sight here, but that's fine because it's been fun.
We're supposed to start that next game at 7:30. If you're tuning in, getting ready for PCM West Liberty, you might want to, plan out the next hour, so we might be here a little while. Payoff pitch upstairs, appeal to the field umpire, and it is no swing. Ball 4, runners on first and second. Here comes Berkeley Weiland, who's reached base 3 times.
I mentioned the fan with the PCM hat here early. No, he's on time. We're just late because we are having way too much excitement here at Iowa Central Field.
Going to see if Southeast Polk fans, I believe, up there in that bleacher. This is a bunt to third. Charged well, throw to first. Got her! What a hard-charging play. Amanda Fink retires the speedy Weiland. And for the first time tonight, Southeast Polk has not scored in a half inning. They leave 2 on. And we are going to the top of the 5th. All of a sudden, Tigers might have some momentum. Coach Tepley will try and fire the Tigers up heading into the 5th. Coming up next on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
This is you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care. Because the way you, and you feel matters. Unity Point Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
Cedar Falls finally chipped away at that Southeast Polk lead with a run in the top of the fourth, kept the Rams off the board in the bottom of the inning. Here's Sydney Runyon, and she watches that one miss for ball one.
We officially have the highest scoring game of the day so far, 10-7 right now in the fifth. And it's the final 5A quarterfinal still going. Linn-Mar takes down Pleasant Valley. So you win this one. You get to face Linn-Mar 12:45 coming up on Wednesday.
Softly hit line drive and a seeing eye single for Sydney Runyon. You could not have thrown that ball out to left field any better. Runyon, leadoff base runner for the Tigers. First time they've done that since they scored 5 in the first.
And she's the first Tiger with more than one hit. She's got 2 now. And they hadn't scored in a little while. They went through a little bit of a drought, but they scored 1 in the last inning. They had a shot that with more on base at the end of the inning. Now with no outs, we'll see if maybe it's their turn to cut this deficit even closer. Down 3 right now in the top of the fifth.
Do have a pinch runner and an IMT insurance substitution. Braylon Dolman, the junior, will run at first base for Sydney Runyon. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Charlie Henricks takes strike one. And actually some good comments from Coach Tepley about Braylon Dolman in particular. She's incredibly aggressive on the bases and says nobody reads the ball off the bat better than Braylon Dolman does. Allows her to take some extra bases every now and then. Fly ball to right. She knows it's dropping, and Dolman's into second base. It is a base hit for Charlie Henricks, her second of the day. Cedar Falls will bring the tying run to the plate once again in Carly Turner.
Couple leadoff hits here, back-to-back base hits. You've got Dolman with 13 runs on the year. She moves into scoring position. Carly Turner 0 for 2 now. She'd love to right the ship here with a couple flyouts, 1 to third and 1 to left.
Momentum early for the Tigers. Momentum shifted back to Southeast Polk. And you got to feel now that the Tigers might have that momentum swinging their way once again, especially if they can get a big base knock here or in the coming at-bats to cut into that 3-run deficit. Turner's 0 for 2, though. This bottom third of the order has not been able to come through yet tonight. She gets ahead, though, at 2-0. And this bottom third of the order has had 6 at-bats. They're 0 for 6 in them. Some have been close. Some great plays in center, obviously, with Jaden Woods, but none of them have dropped for hits yet.
Carly Turner will try to change that.
Good pitch at the knees from Macy Bice, who continues to do a decent job of keeping the Tigers off the scoreboard. Worth noting again, she came in relief after Carter Price had a tough time getting out of the first inning. And Bice, in now 4 complete innings, has allowed 2 runs. That's a missile up the middle. A base hit. Dolman's around third. Woods throw, not in time. And an RBI hit for Carly Turner. Her first hit of the night, and it's a 2-run game here in inning number 5.
What a huge time for Turner to pick up her first hit of the night. It'll bring home Braylon Dolman. She'll score for the 14th time this season. And just like that, down 3 going to the 5th. Hit, hit, hit. 3 singles. And now 2 on at first and second. And now Cedar Falls is back in business with a pitching change for Southeast Polk.
Another one here as we bring you another IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT by visiting imtins.com. It is Carly Kielman, the Southeast Polk freshman righty, who is making her 12th appearance out of the bullpen here this season. She's not made a start in the circle An ERA of 1.38. She does have a winning decision, and she has 4 saves on the year. You could see that a lot in baseball. For a pitcher to have 4 saves in softball, she's been in these big clutch scenarios and has come through a lot of the time for the Rams.
And stats may have updated since you saw that, because when I checked the rankings, she actually leads Class 5A with 5 saves.
Oh, 5 saves, all right.
So she must – I wonder if in the Ankeny regional final, I wonder if she tacked on another there, as Southeast Polk got their stats posted a little later than most teams. So here she comes. Clearly their late game situation pitcher with 5 saves, maybe picking up number 6 if they can hang on.
Pop-up foul. And, yeah, it would be the rare occurrence of a 3-inning softball save. But technically, if she is to finish this game, she could be credited with the save for it. The 1-1 misses low, 2-1. That's that weird kind of
gray area.
Well, it's a gray area, and it's the weird clause in the save rule where if you pitch the final 3 innings of the game, you're given the save automatically. As the 2-1 is a strike of the outside corner, and Ratchie is trying to see if she can tie the game up. 2 on, nobody out in a 2-run game. She's 0 for 2. Love to change that here against Kielman. It's off speed, missing low, and a good job holding there by the runner at second in Henricks.
And unofficially for Bice, she'll go 4 innings, gives up 3 earned runs, 6 hits allowed. Still the game's only strikeout and a couple walks. Unofficial, of course.
Floated foul down the left field line, and we'll try it again with the count still full.
And with a couple runners at first and second, whatever happens to them, they will be credited to Bice. But for now, Cedar falls down by 2 and no outs.
Yeah, that's the thing. They could do whatever they, small ball runner around, payoff pitch. Liner left center, that shoots the alley. Henricks scores. Turner's getting the wave around. There will be no throw. And this game is tied in the 5th inning on a big 2-run double by Kira Ratchie.
Like Carly Turner before her. 0 for 2 coming up here in the 5th. Turner with the RBI single. Ratchie now the 2 RBI double. And here we go. Tied at 10. Anybody's ball game. Bottom of the order coming up. Can Gabby Hanks keep the streak going? Going from hitless to a huge hit and maybe take the lead here with still no outs. This game has seen so many momentum shifts.
Right.
I'm getting whiplash.
Well, and we've had so many changes. We're going to have another one here at the plate. Josie Turner is going to be the hitter for Gabby Hanks, another pinch hitter, and another IMT insurance substitution. As Josie Turner will hit, runner on second in a tie game and nobody out. First pitch to her. Down and away.
13 hits and 13 runs for her this year, 8 RBIs. Batting right at 200 this year. Getting a chance, bottom of the order, to give your team the lead in the state tournament.
Oh, that was close. Smashes that one foul. Oh, my goodness.
No home runs on the season yet. May have had the distance on that foul ball to left.
Straighten that out. Yeah, that's got a chance. Even count to Turner. Only driven in 8 runs on the season. Oh, that one smashed. Center field deep. Get out of town! Josie Turner, a pinch hit, 2-run bomb. And Cedar Falls leads it in inning number 5.
4th home run in the game. The other 3, we kind of expected that they could hit the home run ball. Josie Turner, first of the season. What a moment for the senior. 12-10 gives Cedar Falls the lead here in the top of the 5th. And Woods almost had a chance to rob that one, but Turner had just enough on it. And another pitching change.
Yes.
Coming for the Rams.
It is also a Channel Seeds extra base hit. We've had a number of those here in this game. And back into the circle is Carter Price. Boy, what a move this is. I'm also seeing maybe some action heading down to the bullpen. Maybe Reese Curfey to pitch. Someone who's pitched just an inning and 2/3 all season. Looks like she might go out to the pen to warm up as Carter Price will try and eat some more outs potentially. But 5 base runners have gotten on and have scored for Cedar Falls with nobody out in the inning. And both these coaches have made some outstanding moves. Samantha Tepley looks like a genius with the pinch hit of Josie Turner for the 2-run homer.
As a coach, you send her out there, hasn't homered all year. Is that a realistic expectation that she thinks that can happen? Or I'm just curious what she sees in practice, what goes on behind the scenes that she says, all right, Josie, this is your chance, and talk about rising to the occasion. Okay. And you mentioned going to the bullpen, perhaps looking at someone that hasn't pitched more than an inning or so. Right. It brings me to one of my favorite movies and movie quotes, Waterboy. For somebody, it's the last game of the season. Can't hold anything back.
Throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
And, oh, by the way, top of the order for Cedar Falls, Truig, 1 of 4 Cedar Falls home runs this afternoon and into this evening.
What a wild game. I mean, just a tremendous show of softball offense. As you mentioned, after the Josie Turner bomb, the 4th home run the Tigers have hit in this softball game. Truegg's got one of them.
And still no outs, by the way.
Nobody out.
So you look at it.
Yeah.
First inning, 5 runs with no outs. They've done it twice in the same game.
That's true. Yeah.
Here in the 5th, they've done it again. 5 runs before the first out.
Absolutely nuts.
Talk about digging deep. Perseverance, whatever cliche you want to throw out there. We have seen some incredible moments from both of these teams. It's a shame that this couldn't be like a semifinal or a championship.
Fly ball. Woods, long run. Can she do it again? You better believe it. Jaden Woods with the Golden Glove in center tonight robs another base hit from a Tiger.
By my count, 6 or 7 that she has caught in the center field. And that's at least 2.
Great diving
just
efforts.
Fantastic efforts.
Yeah, just cannot make a better catch than that. Here's Stanek. And,
it almost looked like it fell out of the glove, and she was able to kind of cradle it in her chest.
It's so
extra
impressive.
effort to hang on.
And it's made that much more impressive. Obviously, with all the power, Nick, these outfielders have had to play so deep in a pretty deep outfield in and of itself. This is trouble. And it's the shortstop, Hallie Clark, who flags it down for out number 2. You're already starting near the warning track in center field. You're on a dead sprint, and you're still able to time it all well to make a great sliding catch. It's phenomenal what Jaden Woods has been able to do in center.
22 runs in this game, 22 hits. The bingo card will have to be reset here very shortly.
Pop out to first, and the 5-run inning gives Cedar Falls another lead. It is 12-10 Tigers going to the bottom of the inning. Oh, man, you got to stay with us now. Heart of the order for the Rams coming up next on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small. We host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Well, we are having some fun here at the Girls Union State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau alongside Nick Brinks. I'm Daniel Versteg. It's 12-10 Cedar Falls. Rams batting from behind for the second time in this game. The heart of their order will be due up, and so you got to feel good again if you're the Rams that, hey, you put the ball in play, get some big-time hitters up to the dish. You might be able to tie this thing right back up here in inning number 5. See what Baroud has in store with the first pitch drilled down the left field line and foul to start off the inning.
So I got to ask you, Daniel. I'm making my state tournament debut here this afternoon, and we got to do the next game too. This is what every game's like, right? Every single game is just incredibly offensive and clean defensively, and right? Every single game I see from here on out will be this exciting. Am I right?
Of course. You're 100% right. Every game is this riveting, and it's so crazy. Games are this competitive, but they're not quite as blow me away kind of home run hitting power display, and you just don't know what you're going to see at bat to at bat. It is. Yeah, it's nuts. But yes, you can expect every game to be this good. That'll keep you coming back for sure. It's the 2-1. And just missing upstairs, 3-1.
And over at Channel Seeds Field, our first 3A quarterfinal of the day underway with Dubuque Waller and Center Point Urbana. The winner of that game will get the winner of our next game, West Liberty and PCM, coming up. Well, we're supposed to start in 28 minutes. I don't think that's happening.
Oh, Baroud hits one deep, left center, and room out there in center for Sophie Stanek. She flags it down near the fence for out number 1. So that retires Baroud for just the second time tonight. It'll be Jesslyn Stairs to hit next for the Rams, and this has been a nice little run that Lexi Truegg's gone on in the circle. She allowed the walk and the base hit with 2 outs in the 4th, but has done a good job shutting down a very potent Ram offense. That one misses upstairs, and Stairs is ahead at 1-0. She is 2 for 3, 4 RBIs for Jesslyn Stairs. And that's not the most shocking stat line of the night. That one clips the top of the zone. So Stairs will be followed by Jaden Woods, who has made so many plays with the glove. Good to see it. Maybe she's got a big swing in that bat, too. Stairs takes up. It's 2-1.
Stairs with the 4 RBIs. One of 2 girls with 4 RBIs tonight. Amanda Fink had the grand slam in the first inning. She just got the 4-for-1 special. But for Stairs, she's been nibbling here and there. 1, 1, and 2 in her 3 at-bats for those 4 RBIs. And there's only one way right now to get an RBI if you're Stairs, if you want to add number 5. And that would be her 3rd home run of the season. They would love it.
Again, Cedar Falls took a 5-0 lead in the first. Southeast Polk tied it up at 6 in the second. Took a lead 10-6 at the end of the third. And now the Tigers are back on top. Hot shot to short and past the diving shortstop. It's a base runner aboard for Southeast Polk as Jesslyn Stairs gets on with 1 out in the inning. It'll set things up for Jaden Woods to potentially have that big swing to go along with an exciting evening in center field.
13th hit of the night for Southeast Polk. That one, valiant effort from the freshman over at short, Kennedy Buskell, but just couldn't quite get there.
Well, that first pitch is a ball. Looked pretty good. And Woods might have caught a break there. 1 ball and no strikes to the Rams center fielder. Here's the pitch. And a line shot. That one's caught. And she turns 2. Buskell lines out. Woods doubles off Stairs. And the inning comes to an end. We're going to look at that hot shot turn 2 to end the 5th. And Southeast Polk fails to score in back-to-back innings. They send the minimum to the plate in the 5th inning. Going to the 6th, Cedar Falls by 2 on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
It's Frank. Frank. Mr. Frank. I just want you to know, I think you're the best ever.
In your neighborhood, there's a place so good. It's so nice to be at a store meant for me. The feeling of family, you have to agree.
Wow, thanks, Fairy Frank.
Welcome to Fairway, your Fairway family.
The Iowa Farm Bureau knows that strong schools build strong communities. That's why they proudly support the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and this inspiring girls state softball championship. By supporting Iowa's youth, they're helping build Iowa's future. Thanks again to the Iowa Farm Bureau for presenting the girls state softball tournament. Alongside Nick Brinks, Daniel Versteg, and we are thanking the Iowa Farm Bureau and all our great sponsors a little bit extra for bringing us this gem here in the Class 5A state tournament. Not only do we still have 2 innings to go in this one, and I hope we don't have any run rules to screw that up, but this is only Monday. Still got 4 more days of exciting softball here in Fort Dodge that will conclude in 5A on Thursday night with the championship.
We have so many great sponsors that help bring the IGHSAU coverage to you each and every year. But I don't know if anybody's quite getting their money like Channel Seeds in this game with those extra
Right.
base hits. All the home runs we've seen some doubles. No triples, though. I haven't checked that bingo box yet.
That is a good point. That's probably the last thing that we haven't had happen in this game yet. That's a 3-base hit.
Still sitting at 1 strikeout in the whole game, too.
Well, Amanda Fink's behind 1-2. See if Carter Price can get it done. It's the pitch. Swing and a miss. There it is for strike 3. Amanda Fink goes down. And Carter Price, who could not get out of the first inning, called upon in relief, and now has retired 4 batters in a row.
That has to feel good. First 4 batters in the first inning, 4 runs. Now 4 outs. Big.
Runyon the other way to left center. Who else but Jaden Woods to track it down? And it's out number 2 to back up her pitcher, Carter Price, who settled in nicely in her second stint in the circle tonight.
We are quickly approaching do or die time here. Getting late, running out of opportunities. Who can make that last? Maybe we've got more than one game-changing play. Maybe we're going to see a couple lead changes yet, but we're coming down the home stretch here, and Henricks, back-to-back singles, would love one here for Cedar Falls.
Pitch. And a weakly hit ground ball. Going to be a tough play. Nice recovery. Baroud got that right foot on the bag. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. In the top of the 6th, Carter Price settling in nicely. First time everybody's been retired in a half inning. See if that turns into something for the Rams. Coming up, down 2, bottom 6 on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Well, as we mentioned in the last half inning, we're starting to get to that crunch time, do or die here in the bottom of the 6th. It's Cedar Falls 12, Southeast Polk 10, in a ball game that has been as back and forth and high-octane, energy-making plays as you can ask for. And we've got just about the entire facility's attention at this point because the PCM West Liberty fans are waiting for everybody to clear out so they can play in the next game. You got the number 1 seed Wahlert playing over on the other diamond right now against Center Point Urbana. And, of course, they draw a good crowd for those 2 teams. But right now, at this point, everybody wants to see how this one's going to end. We've not known what's coming from pitch to pitch. I think we're going to have more of the same here in the next inning and a half. Thamantri welcomes the 6th inning with the ball upstairs to open her at bat.
Both teams are now coming off an inning where they went 3 up, 3 down. Now for Southeast Polk, there was a double play. They did have a hit, but they only got through 3. How do they bounce back here in the bottom of the 6th? Like that.
Floater the other way, and Kaylee Thamantri, 3 for 4. Have yourself a day. She gets aboard for Southeast Polk in the 6th. Tying run will come up to the dish. And for the 3rd time tonight, Elena Goldsberry is set to courtesy run at first base.
And she scored both times.
It is another IMT insurance substitution, by the way. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com.
And despite starting tonight in the batting lineup, here we are in the 6th. Carter Price gets her first at-bat of the game as she was pulled from pitcher in the 1st inning. Now she'll show bunt.
Runner goes, throw to second is on target, but the tag was late, and Elena Goldsberry swipes her 2nd bag of the night. She's into scoring position with nobody out. And now Price behind in the count at 0-1. That was kind of a squeeze no matter what scenario to try and see if he can move, maybe with Goldsberry running, see if he can get her to 3rd.
Price this year a .289 hitter, looking for her 29th hit. Doesn't have very many runs. I expect them to run for her if she gets on, with a runner at 2nd and no outs.
Just upstairs for ball 1. And we'll see what she's got in store for us because, again, we have just not known from at-bat to at-bat. Again, Macy Bice, who hit in this spot in the order, had her first 2 plate appearances of the year. 1-1, floated left, right at the left fielder, Turner. And Carly Turner puts that one away. Big out number 1, keeps Goldsberry at bay. And we'll see Ivy Orilko. Again, another one of those hitters who's had a rough night at the plate in spite of all of her team's success. She's 0 for 3, 2 ground outs and a line out. She can change the complexion of her game with 1 swing, though, as the first pitch is in there for strike 1.
They got the leadoff hit from Thamantri, her runner. Over at 2nd right now, Elena Goldsberry, looking for her 3rd run of the night.
There we go, big 0-1. That's a strike call. Got that outside corner. It is 0-2 to Orilko.
Struggled here tonight, but hitting .267 this year, 27 hits herself. She does have a home run this year.
Way upstairs, kind of bailed her out on that 0-2 pitch. It's 1-2 to Orilko, and Goldsberry was taking an extra lead at 2nd base, seeing if she might be able to steal 60 feet somehow. Truex 1-2. Oh, she got her out in front of a down ball. And now the runner's going to 3rd. Throw there, not in time. Goldsberry does get to 3rd base on a drop 3rd strike, put out at 1st. That'll bring up Kenna Brooker. And out of the bottom of the order, after going 0 for in the regional tournament, Brooker's 3 for 3, 2 RBIs and a double. This is a 9-hole hitter you've got to respect. She's showing bunt. Now she's going to swing away. Tried to slap and takes a strike.
Goldsberry still running for Thamantri. A couple steals this go-around. Can Brooker go 4 for 4 on the night? Her team down 2.
0-1 pitch. Down and away. Yeah, she's answered the call every time. And from the bottom of the order, that has been making that performance that much more impressive. Counts even. The 1-1 way upstairs as Brooker takes ball 2.
Yeah, if you're Coach Tia Stiles for Southeast Polk, to get that kind of production in a state game, a game like this where we've seen so much back and forth, that's just got to feel fantastic.
Needs 1 more to put a run on the board. That misses down and away. And the tough part is you don't really want to walk her or pitch around her because you got the top of the order waiting. That's what can happen when you put such a dangerous hitter in the 9 spot. 3-1. Hitters count for Brooker. Big pitch. Takes strike 2. She was rung up on strike 2, so our home plate umpire has to recalibrate. And the count is full.
Of their 14 hits tonight, they have come from 6 batters. Top of the order, Clark, not one of them, with 2 outs. She's hoping to get a chance here in the 6th.
Payoff pitch. Oh, a diving stop at third. The throw from her knees off the glove of the first baseman, Runyon. And it's a 1-run game. Hold on just a moment. We've got time being granted. And they're going to check on Kenna Brooker, who reaches and scores Goldsberry. And they're going to make sure that ball that kind of came up and hit her is not going to take her out of the game. Yeah, Tia Stiles gets a thumbs up from Brooker. That is a good sign. Even better sign is they grant that a hit. That is her 4th hit and 3rd RBI of the night. Makes it a 1-run game here in the 6th with the top of the order set to hit. Just an impressive performance all the way around for Brooker.
And that's got to be tough, too, for Fink over at third. Just made a heck of a play. Drop to one knee to scoop that up. The throw to first, so close to getting her out. But it's a 1-run game now.
Clark watches strike one go by. Tying runs on the base paths for Southeast Polk. Man, what a game.
Truegg in the circle. She came in the 3rd inning. 5 hits allowed for her. Just 2 of these 11 runs credited to Truegg, so she has really come in. And we've seen both teams. Second pitcher comes in, kind of settles everything down.
Yeah.
And for Southeast Polk, obviously, they've gone back to their starter late in the game.
Yeah, we gave a lot of credit to Macy Bice. It's a good point to make sure we give that credit to Truegg as well. There's a ground ball to short, and an easy play for Buskell to put that one away. And a nice job again by Truegg. Allows a run, but nothing more. So we're going to head to the 7th inning. And what a ball game this has been. It's a 1-run contest with 1 inning to go. Cedar Falls bats the bottom 3rd of their order. Coming up next in the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present the state softball tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on an outstanding softball season. And remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Well, after all of that, 6 exciting innings, and we go to a do-or-die 7th. Cedar Falls has a 1-run lead on Southeast Polk. Carly Turner will hit next for the Tigers. Trying to see if they can add to their 1-run lead. Again, this is Cedar Falls' first ever state softball appearance. Led by Samantha Tepley. When she was a player at Wahlert Catholic, took the Golden Eagles to their first ever state softball tournament in 2009. I don't know what else to call her, but a miracle worker, someone who has brought programs to state that they never thought they would go. And now look at Wahlert. They're the number 1 seed in 3A. Cedar Falls might be on that track, and it's especially impressive, Nick, considering the last 2 years. Cedar Falls, as this one's popped up to first, and it's put away by Baroud. The Tigers had won a combined 28 games in the first 2 years under Coach Tepley. She's led them to a 30-9 record this year and a state tournament berth, and potentially a few outs away from heading to the semis.
First state tournament appearance. Can you check another box in the same game, get the win?
Why not go 1-0 at the state tournament to start things off?
Anybody's ball game here, though. We saw earlier today, at this point in the game, it was 7-3 for Western Dubuque, and they lost 8-7 in 9.
Wow, heartbreaking.
So no run on this field today. No run in the 7th is safe. Cedar Falls certainly has played fantastic today in their first trip. They've got a little more work they'd like to do.
And of course, both teams have blown 4 or more run leads. Cedar Falls did it quickly after going up 5-0 in the first. Blew that. It was tied 6-6 after 2. Southeast Polk led 10-6 going into the 4th. Blew that. Tigers lead at 12-11 now. going into or in the 7th inning as Rachi keeps fouling these pitches off to keep herself alive.
So with 1 out for Cedar Falls, bottom of the order, Kira Rachi and then Gabby Hanks, although she didn't bat in the last inning. They may throw another hitter out there. No, actually, Hanks will bat here. She's in the on-deck circle. You don't feel like 1 run is safe.
No.
Need some insurance from
There's
IMT.
a line shot, and that's a good way to get things going. A 1-out base hit for Rachi, and she has given the Tigers maybe some hope of picking up an insurance run. And now got Coach Samantha Tepley coming out of the third base coaching box. Just to remind our home plate umpire that Gabby Hanks is re-entering to hit after Josie Turner's big pinch hit 2-run homer filled up that spot in inning number 5. And it's worth noting that right now that pinch hit home run is the difference. I mean, Southeast Polk could be leading. This would be Cedar Falls' last chance had Turner not come through with that home run and nobody scored. Kira Rachi in that 5th inning. Tried to bunt her over, did Hanks, and takes a ball.
Cedar Falls here in the game. They've got 11 hits. They have come from 8 different hitters. Gabby Hanks is not one of them. She's hoping to add her name to the list. It would be her 25th of the season. 1 out, 1 on, a 1-run lead. Can she come through for her Tigers, or will Price do her thing here in the circle?
Price gets a big strike there on the inside corner. And that hit by Rachi was the first hit she had allowed since coming in after not being able to get out of the first. Coming in the second time here. That one misses just up, 3-1. But she had retired 7 Tigers in a row and did a really nice job of keeping the Rams within striking distance, keeping it a 1-run game now. 3-1 to Hanks. That one's crushed left center. Woods long run. Won't get that one. It's up against the wall, and it's only going to be a single for Hanks as Rachi had to give Woods all the respect she has earned in making sure that that ball would drop before getting to second base.
9th different hitter to pick up a hit tonight for Cedar Falls, and almost not necessarily a curse, but if there were 2 outs there, your runner at first, she's making a beeline, because it looked like the way that Woods has played all night, it's going to be an easy grab.
Right.
So they don't take off. Could have been an easy double if there were 2 outs on the board, maybe even an RBI double. But with just the 1 out, just first and second occupied right now, Southeast Polk, I think right there that just shows you that Woods is she's kind of a menace out in center field from Cedar Falls' perspective, and she kept them honest, not getting an early lead there, and maybe trying to push it to second and third or come home.
No fielder more feared right now than Jaden Woods, showing that here. As Truegg digs back in, the 0-1. Just off the plate. Price doesn't get any favors there. Counts 1-1.
Truegg walked a couple times, has a solo homer back in the second, flew out to center field. None other than Jaden Woods on the catch in that one.
1-1. And taken upstairs. Truegg still trying to see if she can add that insurance policy for the Tigers, who lead it by just a run. Heading into a very crucial bottom of the 7th inning. Worth noting, Southeast Polk will have their 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Very dangerous part of the order. Bunted up in the air, and Thamantri couldn't get there out of the crouch. Count is even to 2-2. So, Truegg gets a quick pep talk from Samantha Tepley, the head coach of Cedar Falls. And she had so many great things to say after the regional final against Iowa City High. Popped up, shallow center, deep short. The infield fly rule was called as the ball was being catched by the shortstop, Hallie Clark. And it is out number 2 as Sophie Stanek. She'll be the potentially last chance for Cedar Falls to add to their lead. And
of their batters tonight, Sophie the only one without a hit.
Yep.
Trying to complete the sweep for the for Cedar Falls and load the bases, or more.
A walk,
with a run.
And she's reached on an error. That's been it. 0 for 3, though, with a run scored. She starts things off ahead 1-0.
And as far as I'm concerned, I think that's still the only unearned run in the game back in the first for her.
I would agree. It's the only error of the game. Statistically, the only potential for an unearned run there.
And we've only had, the one wild pitch? Nothing came home and scored on it. So
no, yeah.
Everything has been earned otherwise here in this one.
1-1 to Stanek. Pop up to the right side. It's caught by Lexi West. And here we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Southeast Polk's season hangs in the balance, down by a run. 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Stick around, won't you, on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present the state softball tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on an outstanding softball season. And remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Southeast Polk down by a run. 3 outs to go in the bottom of the 7th inning. Alongside Nick Brinks, Daniel Versteg with you. And it's a very good part of the order. If you're a Ram fan, these are the girls you want to hit. Berkeley Weiland, Kennedy Baroud, Jesslyn Stairs, 2, 3, and 4. Weiland's gotten on consistently, 3 out of 4 at bats. Kennedy Baroud, a hit and a walk. She's gotten on 2 out of 4 times. Jesslyn Stairs has driven in 4 runs. So when people get on, Stairs takes care of business. And it'll be Truegg, who has allowed a total of 2 runs since coming in the 3rd inning. And she's pitched 3 2/3 strong innings out of the bullpen for Cedar Falls. Now here we go. It's put up or shut up time. You got to try and see if you can keep your season alive. And not talking about a consolation game. You want a chance at Linn-Mar on Wednesday afternoon.
12:45.
12:45. There we go. We'll have our alarm set. First pitch, bunt, and fouled. And it's 0-1 to start Weiland off. She's got 2 hits, reached on a fielder's choice. Nobody got out on that play, but it was deemed a fielder's choice, and a ground out on a great play by the charging Amanda Fink at 3rd. See if she can get on. I think she's kind of the key piece for Southeast Polk. Takes a pitch. It's 1-1.
Cedar Falls clinging to this 1-run advantage. You've got no wiggle room. You give up 1. I suppose you have a little wiggle room. Just the 1.
Just the 1.
No more than that. This field has gone to extras twice out of 3 attempts so far. Can't rule that out either. Iowa Central Field, a great facility for our matchup here today.
It's hosted some outstanding softball. And still potential for one more. West Liberty PCM still on the docket for tonight. 2-1. The pitch way upstairs. 3-1. And it's so funny. It feels like every year, especially on Monday night, this field has a long day with some outstanding games, extra innings. This field always seems to wrap up around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So it's bunted foul and the count's full.
It's Iowa Central Field, but I'm getting the vibe that it's just Action Central.
It's Action Central, absolutely. This field, you get 4 versus 5, you get 3 versus 6, you get some very competitive softball games over here, and they have lived up to the billing here at the state tournament. 3-2 to Weiland. Leading off the inning, and a pop-up. Fink, she's got room. And that's a big piece for Cedar Falls. They get the first out of the 7th, and Kennedy Baroud will try and get the Rams started down a run.
Baroud singled in the 2nd. That was against Runyon. But against Truegg so far, she's been walked, and she flew out to center field. gets a chance here. And right now, Southeast Polk down to their last 2 outs. Down 1.
There's a strike. Good start for Truegg. This Cedar Falls run to state almost looked doomed right away in the region final. Through 3 innings, Cedar Falls had 3 hits and was down 3-0 to the Little Hawks from Iowa City High. Pitches in there at the knees for strike 2, but Coach Samantha Tepley said they found a way to get gritty and get tough. They've had to be gritty and tough here tonight as well. Trailing 10-6 going into the 4th inning and scoring 6 of the next 7 runs. 0-2 to Baroud. Floated right center. That's trouble. Base hit. Southeast Polk's got the tying run on in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that means the winning run comes up to bat. It's Jesslyn Stairs who has driven in 4 runs tonight. We're going to get a pinch runner here, though, for Kennedy Baroud. This will be another IMT insurance substitution, and it's going to be Elena Goldsberry again. So she's courtesy run 3 times, and every time she's come out to run, she's scored all 3 times.
And I have her with 3 steals.
3 steals.
Unofficial, may have more than that, but Goldsberry has done and played her role exceptionally well.
Such a great job.
And right now you're Southeast Polk, so you've got 1 out, 2 to go. You've checked the first box. You just want to get somebody on base. Yep. And now you get perhaps your MVP of the game so far, Jesslyn Stairs, the senior, a chance to be a hero, at least tie it or more, all in one fell swoop. 28 hits in this one so far.
No
Can she be 29?
Offense.
And for Southeast Polk, again, can Stairs be a hero?
Samantha Tepley had a quick chat there in the circle, and I would have to imagine it is about the base runner, Goldsberry, who has, as you mentioned, stolen a few bags here tonight. First pitch to Stairs is just up. Ball 1. 3 for 4. 4 RBIs for Jesslyn Stairs as the Southeast Polk third baseman looks for a huge swing to save the season. There's a strike called. Counts even.
And after Stairs, they've got Jaden Woods, 1 for 3 with a single and a run in the game. Kaylee Thamantry, she's got 3 hits, 3 for 4, all singles in this one. So if Stairs can get on or doesn't, you don't feel terrible with what you got coming up next.
Truegg's 1-1. Floated to left. That ball is trouble. It's down. Base hit. Late break to second. Oh, and just in there safely is Goldsberry. That was a lot closer of a play than I think a lot of people anticipated, but the Rams do get 2 on, 1 out. Tying run in scoring position. Winning run at first. It'll be Jaden Woods to hit for the Rams.
Huge hit from Stairs, her 4th of the night. And for Cedar Falls, you don't hate it. You didn't advance anybody past second. Sure, that would have been a heck of a grab. But you're still feeling okay if you can take care of business with Woods.
A great effort in left from Harley Turner. First pitch strike to Woods. Got time called by Tia Stiles. We're going to get another runner here for Jesslyn Stairs. There'll be another IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Ella Wheatley will run at first base.
She scored 10 runs this year. If she scores, it would likely be the game winner with 1 out ahead of her here with Goldsberry at second.
Yeah, as long as Goldsberry touches home and Wheatley touches home, it would be the winning run. So, big move there by Coach Stiles. 0-1 to Woods. Pitch. That's driven deep right field. It is caught at the wall. Tagging from second, Goldsberry. She's into third. The throw to second. And what heads-up base running by Wheatley. She gets to second base. The tying run 60 feet away. Winning run in scoring position at second as well. And the season rests on the shoulders of Kaylee Thamantry Can see she's having a quick chat with Carter Price as those two try and fire each other up here in inning number 7, needing Goldsberry to come in and score. And again, the defense shows. Great catch and right by Gabby Hanks. So here we go. Season comes down to this for Southeast Polk. Will the Tigers' run in their first ever state tournament continue? Thamantri and Truegg. First pitch and a strike. Thamantri's 3 for 4. She's been courtesy run 3 times. Her courtesy runner's at third. Goldsberry has scored all 3 times she's run for Thamantri's hits. Truegg needs 2 strikes, and the Tigers will be marching on to Wednesday. Ground ball up the middle. Second baseman Hendricks to first in time, and the Tigers move on in their first ever state tournament appearance. In the most exciting way, Cedar Falls gets the job done. They knock off Southeast Polk, maybe a little bit of revenge from last year's region tournament, and the Tigers will get another crack in a rubber match against Linn-Mar in the semis Wednesday afternoon.
The slipper fit, at least so far, for Cinderella, the only team here this week to make it to the state tournament for the first time, and they get the win. Incredible.
And, of course, a great show of sportsmanship after a game like that. It is only customary that you have to shake hands with the teams that dance so well, and a great contest between these two teams. We're going to go down to our public address announcer here in just a moment, but a 12-11 win for Cedar Falls. Let's see them advance themselves on the 5A tournament bracket. Let's go to our public address announcer. Well, there you go. There was the great, exciting moment. Cedar Falls, not only in their first ever state tournament appearance, they get their first ever state tournament win. And my goodness, yeah, if Cedar Falls is playing at the state tournament, you know it's going to be a thriller. That's for sure, Nick. And boy, I can't think of a better way to open their run in Fort Dodge than with this win in this kind of game.
You get the 5 runs in the first inning, grand slam and a home run. You cap it off with just needing a little bit of help to hang on to that 1-2 run lead. And you think about the play that just ended it. That was a grounder to second. Runner was coming home to score. 50-50 play at first. Yep. If that's not out, if that throw is just a millisecond behind, that's the tying run. Instead, it's the game-ending play. Highest of highs, lowest of lows potential on the one play if you're Southeast Polk, but Cedar Falls all smiles. The Tigers' first trip to state, they're headed to the semis.
Well, Tigers, Lions, all we need is Bears coming up Wednesday afternoon. It is going to be a rubber match. Linn-Mar and Cedar Falls split their regular season series just a couple of weeks ago. See what they got in store in the semis coming up Wednesday afternoon. Thankfully, we're not done yet. We got one more game on this field. It is Prairie City Monroe, PCM, and West Liberty. Stay tuned for that. We'll get started in about a half hour. Until then, for Nick Brinks, I'm Daniel Versteg, the rest of our great crew at the Girls Union Digital Network. You've been watching live coverage of the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.